one. Hey! Woo! Hi, everyone. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that ends in like 3 hours. We're so glad you could attend. Come and hang. Come and hang.
Goes back to starting soon screen.
You got 3 hours to
later.
dedicate to us, and then you can resume your normal lives.
Nice
There you
brief
go.
break from reality.
There you go. That was it. So, welcome to Reality Break, where we take a break from the real world to play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons
and Dragons. Get down. So, we are
We went
back.
away. You looked at Discord.
Nope, we're back. We're good.
Okay.
So, we are back at it. I just got to adjust the volume because we have our good friend Kenku Audio back.
Yeah.
Not sponsored by, but we got Kenku Audio
Yet.
for not for not only your guys' auditory pleasure, but to provide the players and myself with a little bit of audio excitement as well. So we are back. So before we get into tonight's session, where the party has to recover from a very surprise and harrowing battle, got a few updates for you. Hey, TikTok person, how's our TikTok going?
TikTok is going well. We crossed over 800 followers just over the weekend, which is super exciting.
Woo!
I recorded some more tidbits of the week, which are coming out on Fridays. And Dee also recorded a very funny video last week. If you guys haven't seen it, you should go check it out. And we're planning some more cooperative multi-person videos for TikTok once
gonna
we
be
work
dope.
out the logistics. It's going to be super exciting because that will open a whole new realm. I've got like a giant list of like audios saved to do things with it that require multiple people, and I'm super excited. So
Yeah.
lots of things coming on the TikTok horizon.
Yep.
Not the least of which is once we hit 1,000 followers, we can do lives, which is very exciting.
Which we'll be figuring out the logistics for that, and that'll be exciting. And one of the things we do on the TikTok, besides the awesome tidbits of the week and the funny memes, are clips. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its D.
By its
By
D.
its D?
By its D.
Whoa, that got aggressive really
That
quick.
went, that stopped someplace it wasn't supposed to. Sorry about
I
that.
bet if you catch a tiger by its D, you're not going to survive that.
Very-
I don't know
yes.
how to follow that.
Hey, you should
but
talk about clips.
Clips are nice. So with clips, speaking of TikTok, we do put some of our clips up on our TikTok as well, especially the really, really funny ones, which most of them are. But the little button down in the left-hand corner of your screen, yeah, left hand, whichever way that is right now, is a little clapper, like in the movies. Next scene take one.
Action.
That is the button that you choose. It will give you a generally minute-long span to clip, and then you can select which part of that you want and title it so that we can find it, remember why it was funny, and because it helps with algorithms and things.
Because of the algorithm.
The algorithm.
All slaves to the
Ow.
algorithm.
We are.
Algorithm. The
And
algorithm.
there is nothing
You're an
wrong.
algorithm.
The
There's nothing-
algorithm.
There's nothing wrong with that in the long run.
Hey, guys.
Whoa, hello, Tony.
Hello!
Welcome to the Glorgan Thorgan.
I
There we go.
wasn't asleep, so I saw what you were doing.
Who's in
What are
what's
you
it?
We're good. Don't mind me. Pay no mind to the man behind the screen. There we go. Pay no attention to him. It's all good. Just tweaking
Him.
some stuff. I'm all good. Well, I'm average at best. So, anyway.
Holy nuggets! What did I just do? I'm sorry.
What kind of nuggets?
Apparently, you suddenly sound very loud, Tony.
Okay, let me.
Apparently.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Yep.
double audio, double audio.
There we
Whatever
go.
source you just
How
added.
about- How about that? Can I get a mic check?
How about that?
How about
Look what they've won.
Oh, okay, I wasn't going crazy then.
Yep.
Because I was hearing double audio too. I was like,
Yep. We're good.
Perfect.
We should be. See, look at that. You know what? I used to be paranoid and freaked out about technical issues that we had back in the day. Now I'm just like, meh.
Bro stream.
Yep.
Bro stream. We'll be there one day when we grow up. And
Someday.
finally, Bill, if people find us on TikTok or they watch our stream and they still want to hang out, where can people hang out?
You can totally hang out at the Break Room on Discord. Come check it out. If you want to go click on that link that we have up on the chat right now, you can go to the Discord, check out the Break Room, and see what it's all about. We have all kinds of funny memes, all kinds of D&D stuff, all kinds of nifty business, and you can hang out with us. It's incredible.
Back to you, Tony.
There we go. And one of the other things that we do on there, which I kind of want to, in all seriousness, one of the other things we do is when we shout out somebody on here, we will also put some more information about it in the Discord. I know specifically Christy, whenever you've shouted out some of the, stuff you've gotten through content creators on TikTok or Etsy or whatever, you usually put a link in the Discord as well on top of in the stream. So
I try to.
Yep. So if you ever want to post some memes, talk D&D, get some inspiration for getting a dice set or a character tracker book or something like that, Discord's another cool place to do that. And then YouTube is going well as well. I believe we are all the way caught up through Osiria.
Ooh.
Maybe?
Let me double check.
Believe. Don't quote me on that. But we've been making
I'm
our
30% sure that you're correct.
Hey, I'll take 30%. In my life, in my line of work, 30% is just good for me.
Roll
we
percentage.
are not.
We are
in fact,
not.
completed. No.
Okay, but we're close. So
We
that
will
is.
be by the end of the month.
Hey, there we go. So go check that out. And also, any of our TikToks also get posted on YouTube Shorts as well. So that's another good place to check it out. And go give a subscribe. It's free. And yeah, that's it. End of sentence. Abrupt.
Free.
Good talk.
I love the taste of
Abrupt.
free.
I do too, especially on a cracker. I like a little free on a cracker. It's delicious.
No. Bad.
Yes.
Help me.
Help me.
Tell me, Claire, that counts. Tell me that counts to his bad joke list.
Nope, it doesn't.
Right.
Nope, it doesn't. I'm gonna say it
What
doesn't.
did you say? Repeat what you said, and I'll make the
All right.
decision.
Okay, all right, Claire, the pun counter. I said, because Bill said I like the taste of free, and I said I like the taste of free on a cracker. So is that a pun? Is that a pun?
I mean, it doesn't even make sense to me.
Ah, see, yes.
Oh man. All right.
I'll take it.
Well.
I'll take it. All right, so before we get into it, does anybody have any last-minute announcements or anything they want to shout out before we get back into it? Yes, no, maybe so.
Now forever hold your peace.
This doesn't have to do with Starhel, but Dominic, per the Osira DM Kaylee, was gifted a lizard.
Yay!
And now
Oh, wait. We were guaranteed that there will be a lizard. Wait, did you already put it on your sheet? Okay, you can work it in however you want.
But
Okay.
there is a lizard.
Yay!
Okay, I was gonna say because I've been working out how I'm gonna get you a lizard because we did say you can get a lizard now or whatever it was. Yeah. She's gonna find one like crawling in her boot or something.
I just find
There's
it.
a snake in my boot.
There's a snake in my boot.
I'm from the South. It's not the first time that's
I thought
ever
you
happened.
said boob.
Listen, if I've got one in there, I'm gonna be worried.
That's a problem.
If it's in my boots,
That's a
not so
problem.
much.
I need medical attention.
Off
Yeah,
to
like
a
Dominic
rip
doesn't
roaring
have boobs.
start.
Help me.
I'm in
Off to a
danger.
rip roaring start.
I'm in
Alright.
danger.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All
I'm gonna go
right.
into the doctor's office and hand him a D20 and say, "Roll this, please."
Yeah.
Roll first aid.
All right. So, if we have nothing else, then let us get back into the world of Starhel. All right.
I could never survive one of those you laugh you lose kind of things against you guys.
Well, that's
Oh, I
good to
totally
know.
could.
Yeah, well, it helps.
See,
'Cause you're
I'd
not
be
funny.
fine until you start laughing.
No, it's because you're not.
Because then I
funny.
start
That's
laughing
why
because
don't
you're
laugh.
laughing.
You're not funny.
Roasted.
Sorry.
That hurts.
All right.
You cut me deep just now. All right. So. So last we left the party, they were getting ready to enjoy a lovely concert once again by Flynn and his, well, at this point, one Leaf Walker, at the Celestial. Wait, no, I gotta remember, at the Crossroads Resort.
The Sapphire.
At the
Yeah,
Sapphire
Sapphire
Lounge. There we go. I was thinking of the
Boom.
inn, the inn part of the Crossroads, when all of a sudden the dinner time entertainment was interrupted by a group of looked like local townsfolk that were demanding justice done and this place cleansed of evil and sin and all that. Lady Gray Miner, the proprietor of the Sapphire Lounge, did take these folks outside to try to talk them down, and our Kira followed them outside, only to find them viciously attack Lady Gray Miner, stabbing her in the stomach with a sword and leaving her for dead. A perilous battle ensued. A fire was spread that was quickly put out thanks to some clever tactics by Clancy. And we last left the party with everybody, kind of taking a breath to assess the situation. But we will pick up immediately outside the Crossroads Resort, where Kira, you had run outside using your dash action. We're not going to argue about the wording of it. Dash to get outside, and you saw a Lady Gray Miner with the sword in her stomach, still breathing, but her eyes starting to glaze over.
I have a question for you. So does this mean that we're part of the in crowd? Sorry.
Bill's gonna
I
get
see-
points.
See, that's
From
not
Claire.
fair, because I can't do that. That's not fair.
I'll do it for you.
It'll also apply to Kaylee when she's DM again.
Oh, no.
I don't make puns though.
Well, I guess you won't
All
worry
right,
about it,
just
but
be
you'll still have a
prepared for the
limit.
first
Yeah.
time you do.
Yeah, if
I'll
you
just
do,
start writing
and,
now. I
if
need
you
to come
do,
up
and
with 10
click.
per session.
There you go. All right, so Kira. So you see, and Lady Gray Miner's kind of sitting down, back up against the thing, breathing heavily, sweating, but still breathing.
I'm just gonna shout back through the door, Flynn! Flynn! And I'm gonna run over to her and try to I don't want to pull the sword out, but I want to try to hold the bleeding, try to put pressure so that there's not as much bleeding and try not to move her. And just say, help's on the way, just hold on. And try to stabilize her.
Okay, so give me a quick medicine check then.
I'm gonna trust you, Tony, and if they roll bad beforehand, maybe they'll roll better.
I'm just saying.
Shake it really hard.
Shake it like a salt shaker.
That's a medicine, you said?
Yep.
15.
15. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, you have experience, kind of doing stuff like this sometimes, and it's not a weird wound. So yeah, you find the right kind of place to put the, good ample pressure on there without pressing too hard. Flynn, you hear your name hollered at from outside.
Oh, I'm gonna exit stage left. I'm gonna
Okay.
go where she's yelling from. There's sounds like there's trouble.
Yep. All right, so you go outside and you see Kira applying pressure to a wound and a short sword stuck through Lady Gray Miner's stomach.
Holy shit!
Can you help? Flynn, can you help?
Yeah, when did this happen?
It happened right before the fight.
Why is this the first time I'm hearing this? Oh my god! I'm gonna run over and cast Cure Wounds.
Okay, go ahead. So go ahead and roll for it.
I've been after he went running off. I followed him, but more with eyes on the crowd, so slowly making my way towards them.
Yep.
To make
All right.
sure there's no one else freaking trying to start stuff inside.
I'm going to
Yeah,
cast it as I pull the sword out, or did you already pull the sword out?
No,
No, I
she.
left it in
Ready
place.
to, yeah.
Okay.
And I can
All right.
help by pulling the sword out as you cast it if you want. Or
All right.
whatever.
11 hit points as I go.
Okay. Yep. All right. So you kind of do one of those 1, 2, 3. She yanks the sword out. You cast the spell. The wound does close up. With those 11 hit points, and her breathing starts becoming a bit more regular. Jen, at this point, you're kind of standing by the door, kind of peeking out, making sure Flynn's okay, and also peeking the rest of the room. At this point, what you see coming out of the back storage room where the kitchen was and all that, the bartender that was holding the barrel of water that ran out and tried to put the water out, and he kind of looks around and kind of peeks his head back in and says all right, it seems to be over. Everyone can come out now. And then the crowd that was in the tavern enjoying their dinner kind of start filing out slowly and kind of for the first time seeing everything that's happening.
All right, I'm gonna, as she's starting to breathe better, I'm gonna have Kira help me, and we're gonna try to get her up and walk her back inside.
I'm gonna to Morag, keep an eye on the inside. I'm gonna help out. Something went bad out here too.
Yep.
No emergency.
Respond.
Yep. Okay. All right. So yeah, you go outside. You turn the. Yep. Basically. Yep. So you turn the corner outside. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm a burpy bitch.
No, I'm a burpee bitch.
Sorry.
It's not a contest, guys.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah. Well, I've got 2 not sponsored by Bubblies ready to go. So bring it on,
I've
bro.
got this.
Oh,
Good.
hey,
Christy.
that's what I have too. Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers. All right.
I
So.
have Hannaford sparkling water.
So you head outside. Jen, as you turn the corner, you see Kira and Flynn kind of hoist up Lady Greyminer, and you see Kira still kind of holding the sword that still has blood dripping on it.
Is everything okay?
She should be now, but we need to get a place for her to rest and maybe some alcohol. You want some alcohol?
I wouldn't say no to some of the strong stuff right now. Oh, the bastard! Oh,
Let's get you in.
the next time I see him, I'm gonna run his ass through.
Oh, you don't have to worry about that. This one got her.
We
I
got
got him.
we took care of it.
Okay.
That's actually. I want to kneel down next to her. You're not going to have to worry about him ever again, but I need to know if there are more of them.
Okay, all right. Let me. I need a moment.
Your time. I'll help her up.
Give me in. Yeah, and so you start taking her inside. Morag, you're sitting there, and at this point, you're kind of seeing the crowd filter back in. They start seeing the bodies and kind of giving the bodies a wide berth. And at this point, Ryu kind of turns to you and says, "What do you suggest we do now?" Because at this point, I tell you right now, at this point, I would normally just bail.
Well, thank you for not. I suppose getting rid of the bodies, or at least putting them all in one spot, probably outside, would be best. I don't know. I don't generally have fights in places like this. I'm not going to lie.
Clancy is going to hold up his flame in his hand. We could always burn them.
Let's not. This place has already seen enough fire today.
Yeah,
we can burn them outside, obviously.
Okay, that may not be a kind of bad idea. Yeah, let's at least kind of get them outside. And at this point, everyone turns around. You guys see Jen, Kira, and Flynn helping Lady Greyminer kind of walking gingerly in. She's still kind of holding her side, but the rest of them. And as I said, you see Kira holding a bloodied short sword in one of her hands.
Okay. I'm just going to kind of yell over. We're going to get rid of the bodies. Do you need help?
No, but check their pockets before you do.
I'll go
I
help.
like the way you
Yeah.
think.
I don't know that I want anything from their pockets.
I'll go help them if
Kind
you've
of
got
asks.
her. and I'm gonna trot off to go help move the bodies.
I am
going to
be asking.
But I do want to
sorry.
search the dock.
Yeah, and as you guys are kind of in the middle or at the wrap up point of clearing this up, you do hear footsteps coming down from upstairs, and finally, you see the bartender that Kira had flagged down to like go and get help, along with the other one that Lady Grey Miner had said go and let Lady Madam Silvertide know what's going on. And so you see those two running down along with the silver dragonborn lady in that ebony dress that you'd seen before, along with the two large Goliath bouncers that you had encountered earlier that day upstairs. So they finally
it's okay, we've got it.
Yeah, nice of you to join us.
Yeah. And they said, and the bartender that Kira flagged down was like, I'm so sorry. I couldn't really kind of say what was going on. All I kept saying was all I kept telling was Cletus's attack, and we tried to and then we heard screaming, so we had to like get everybody up here calmed down first, and then we heard screaming and then a fire, so everybody up here was panicking. And
it's fine. You made it here eventually, and we took care of the problem in the meantime.
Yeah, and at this point, the Dragonborn lady, Madam Silvertide, does walk over to Lady Grey Miner, and she kind of, and you guys had kind of, I'm assuming you guys kind of like put her down at like the closest table, just to kind of like sit her down, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Madam Silvertide walks over, and she kind of looks at her and says, "Nadwilline, what happened? I got the messenger that Cletus and his ruffians were here, but you and she, there's dead bodies over there, and she has a sword, and you don't look that great." And and Nadwilline says, Eco, I don't know. I tried to talk to him like we always do. You know, I ran you upstairs because, you know, of all of the places here that he has the problem with your place the most. And I try to, you know, help him out like we did, waiting for you. And the son of a bitch just ran me through. And she gestures to the sword. If it wasn't for these fine folks' you know, kind of getting there last minute, and she kind of like starts to, you know, waver a little bit, and
here, have another swig. We'll take it from here.
Yeah. And she said, yeah. So she says, "Oh, thank you." And Madam Silvertide says, "Yes, get her alcohol. She's fine. Get her some water too, and let's get." And then she's pointing to like the bartenders about doing this and say, "You go outside and get one of the horses get some horses from the stable because we've got to take her to Moor to get properly looked at." Lady Grey Miner says, No, I'm fine. I'm just gonna need to lay down for a little bit. And Madam Silvertide says, "Nonsense. You look okay enough to travel." Yeah, I'm okay to travel. So let's get you to Moor. Get one of the professionals looking at you, see the extent of the damage, and make sure that nothing else is gonna happen to you. Okay? And Lady Grey Miner says, "All right. Well, who's gonna?" Okay, all right.
Who told her
that? Madam Silvertide.
Is Lady Grey Miner in charge of this whole place, or just the inn?
Just the inn.
Just the restaurant, right?
Yeah. The restaurant. Yeah.
I'm gonna like look at Lady Grey Miner and be like, "Are you comfortable going that far? We could stay and heal you for a little while."
She kind of looks around. Don't know where that came from.
I'm looking right at her when I do it.
Okay. All right.
She's actually doing this.
I'm not using like a stern look. I'm just using like a little bit of like a "Are you okay?" look kind of thing.
She says, "Nah, I mean," she looks at you and kind of looks at Madam Silvertide and says, "Honestly, if it's all right with you, I think we have enough folks here to at least get me through the night. Trust me, I won't die in the middle of the night. At least I don't think. She kind of looks at her
I'm gonna
stomach
make
No,
sure
again.
you don't.
Yeah,
We'll
she
make
looks
sure
at the
you
stomach
don't.
again. Is like, yeah. Points
I'll
to
cast
Flynn. Is like
Cure
that.
Wounds on her again right now.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, whoa, 15.
There you go. All right. So you see once again this magical aura kind of radiate from Flynn over to Lady Grey Minor. She says, "Oh, well, see, look, nothing to worry about. Maybe we'll have to just shut down the restaurant early tonight, but I will be fine for at least the night, and then I'll run over to more, in the morning." All right. And Madam Silvertide's like, "Well, you've always been a stubborn individual, but, I'm not going to force you into a decision you don't want to do, so you rest up."
She doesn't keep pushing it.
Yeah. So Lady Greymire at this point stands up and says, "Sorry, folks, for the interruption. We are going to be..." And she looks over at the at the wall that would burst into flames. She's like, "By the gods! Oh, that's not great. All right. Well, sorry, folks. We're gonna be closing early tonight. We'll do our best to try to keep the kitchen open. So, we'll run some of the servers up for anybody that may want room service later tonight. We'll try to keep the kitchen open for a little while longer. But yeah, we're gonna be shutting down early tonight. Sorry, folks. Sorry for the inconvenience, but I just got fucking stabbed, so I hope you're a little bit understanding." And everyone's kind of like, "Yeah, we get it. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. One asshole is like, "But I didn't finish my dessert."
I'm gonna look right at that dude and be like, shut the fuck up.
Sorry. Yeah. So at this point, folks start filing their way back upstairs. A couple people actually start heading outside. But majority of them aren't heading upstairs. Madam Silvertide turns to the two Goliaths and say, "You two are on door duty for the rest of the night. You don't let anybody in at all. Even if they say, 'Oh, I went outside to go check something and I'm just coming back in.' No one gets back inside for the rest of the night." And they kind of, stand there cross-armed and nod. And
Spitosh. Do you, what do you want us to do with these bodies? Or what should be done? We don't have to do it, but, obviously we can't leave them here.
Well, Madam Silvertide says, "Well, as far as I'm concerned, they're ruffians and scoundrels, so I would say just dispose of them as you please." Lady Grey...
And he's gonna hold out his flame.
Lady Greyminer says, "Well, to be fair, we should at least report something to the authorities at more about what happened in case anybody else from their chapter comes looking for them."
Well, that's
Are they
another
from-
question. I'm sorry.
Are they from Moore?
And at this point, she's kind of stabilized at least a little bit, and she's gotten water and booze, which is obviously helping. She says, "Yeah, they're from they're not from Moore. They're this, Cletus and his group are part of a commune that lives, a couple days down the main path going away from here. They're a part of a very extreme sect of Ihenna, the goddess of life and death. I don't know if you're aware of her or not.
I think I am.
Preferably.
Yeah, so they, so I'm sure they come around. I don't know how much of that spiel you heard me give, but they come around. He usually comes around every couple months. Just, kind of spewing the same, you guys do evil, you manipulate people, and, we usually just come by and, set up a donation to their, to their religious group, or set up like a food kitchen for a day or something like that to, kind of show, yes, we are good people, even if you don't agree with what we do, kind of thing. And that's usually been what, is fine. But they've they've obviously never gone to this extremes before. So,
Well,
First time for everything.
yeah, I would say we just pile the bodies up out back behind the stables where they're not going to stink up the inn, and you can notify the sheriffs that they'll be there.
yeah, that's
Well, I was thinking, we do have to talk to the garrison and more. We could maybe take word,
That's true.
if that's...
2 days
all
with
right.
decaying bodies with us.
No, I mean, we don't have to
No,
take the
just take
bodies,
word.
no.
Oh, just to let them know.
And
Okay.
that's,
We
and
can
that's
take
why
word.
we should go check their pockets for
Yeah.
notes or religious symbols or, anything else that
Notes
might be in
and
there.
religious symbols.
I'm just saying
yeah.
that I wish some of you knew some thieves can't.
Well, if you
By
teach
picking up
them-
what you're putting down.
That's good. That's right.
Yeah.
But,
So
but it's so the identification. So if the garrison wants to know, but I mean, I don't think anyone would
If-
expect us to take the bodies with us.
No,
That's-
and
no, not at all. I mean,
I'll take
the,
a sword, but
the most we would do would kind of be like what you said. We would have to take them back to the commune because I'm not sure what religious rites or anything like that they would do for the bodies or what, and obviously we would have to go there. I am doing my
sure,
best.
Wait a minute. Why don't you let us know? How about this? Why don't you let us know where to bring the bodies, and we will bring the bodies back to them. And then if you want to work on a statement for us to bring to Moore for you, we can do that because we have garrison visit.
All right,
Out of care.
go ahead.
go ahead.
Oh, well, into Kira's head. Why don't we just clear out the whole place so they don't have to deal with it?
That's I can't respond.
I mean, you can out loud.
I'm gonna say I'm not so sure that's a good idea. That's
Wait,
2
we
or
speak
3
Halfling.
days. In Halfling, I'll say
Yeah.
sure. I'm not so sure that's a good idea. That's 2 or 3 days in the wrong direction from where we're
Oh, is it?
going. Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh.
Or
I missed that
what
part.
She said. Sorry.
Okay, I missed that part.
Yeah,
Flynn.
it's not on the way. It's the other way. So sorry, we're just getting that in comment. I'll just say sorry. We're just getting that. Making sure
Yeah,
we
no,
understand.
I understand.
Thought the directions were wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you guys have a way to get the bodies back to their people to be taken care of appropriately, then I think that makes the most sense. And then we can take word to the garrison. And I quite frankly think you should have a couple of those large gentle people at the door down here in case there's a
All
problem.
the time.
Or
Yeah.
at least
Yeah.
someone sitting around, because it's just if this happens once with all the things that have been going on, I only think it's going to happen again.
Right,
Mhm.
Flynn.
I'm gonna ask Lady Greyminer. I was gonna actually ask her on the way back in, but anywhere in the middle of this, just kind of look
Sure,
at her. So it's sounding to me like Cletus is not the problem. That this could actually continue. That this might happen again.
Well, I mean, and you kind of asked this, kind of in the midst of this whole conversation. While they're having their conversation in Halfling, you asked this. And knowing that you can hear and understand what's going on. Lady Greyminer says, well, Cletus has always been the one that's come over here with the group kind of bothering us. I never really actually visited their commune outside of just stopping by to give a donation, and it's usually just like, they have a contingency out front to meet us anyway, so I don't know their exact leadership structure or where Cletus falls in that. I don't know. I know that I don't want to say that this was done. I'm trying not to think of it as this was done under like the blessing of the whole community. That I'm trying to go on the assumption. Takes a drink. That he did this on a whim. Because he did say before the son of a bitch stabbed me, that things were different because of everything that's been going on, and more action needs to be taken. Which, Kira, you heard that. So she's like, I don't know. This may have just, I don't know. What I do know is that this seemed to come out of nowhere and could be completely different than any other interaction we've had with them.
I would expect you're going to see a lot more of that, considering the current recent events. There's going to be a lot of riled people up. But I'm going to say we have to continue on to more. And what's that?
It's midday now, though, right?
It's like
we're not leaving
it's
today.
It's like late evening because he was performing at dinner time.
Yeah.
We're going to be leaving tomorrow, and we'll go inform the garrison of this stuff that's going on. But I'm assuming we're going to be on our way back through, and when we come back, I'm going to check in with you, see if you've seen any more of their crowd. We might have to pay them a visit.
All right. Well, now security will definitely be heightened, and to your point, she gestures to you, Kira. I'm gonna definitely have a conversation with Madam Silvertide about beefing up security down here, because we're a place where people like to come and get a good meal and rest your head and maybe have a little fun. Like, never really. I always felt like those Goliaths upstairs were a bit excessive, but now maybe not so much. So.
Not anymore. And honestly, I'm not bringing this up for any other reason than please don't worry about any pay or anything like that. We'll deal with that tomorrow. You need to get yourself healed up for anything that happened today.
Yeah.
In the meantime, hey, are there any more booze over there? I'm just going to lean in. If you see anything, sorry, his name just completely escaped me. What?
Jillian?
Thank you. If you see Jillian or his crowd show up, you need to be equally as careful as you are with them, if not more so. Yes, that booze would be great.
And as you say that, she's like, "Are you talking about that tiefling I was talking about earlier?"
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now that name will stick to me, and I will keep that in mind. Okay. All right. So while this conversation is going on, Morag, you are, kind of sitting there, kind of watching this conversation go on, and Ryu kind of sits back and says, "I'll say this: you folks certainly know how to handle yourself when shit hits the fan."
Well, we're kind of used to it. We basically just throw shit at the fan at this point.
Oh, it's so true. It's so true.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much help I'd be on the road, but, if you want to let Kira know that I'd be willing to talk, I'll be willing to let you guys know what I know. I don't know how much it'll help, but I'll let you know what I know.
Well, the night is still young, so even if we could just sit around a table right now with a drink, which I think would be very well deserved, we could definitely talk about that. I'm not necessarily saying that you need to go on the road with us. I know it's not entirely everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah, I cannot believe how many times I missed that damn orc archer. I'm mad at myself.
You're not the only one that missed a few hits.
Yeah, well...
Well, actually, a lot of them hit me. I just didn't hit them.
Yeah, notice that you got the shit kicked out of you a bit there. You alright?
That's absolutely normal at this point.
Fair. Alright. So, at this point, so all that's left is you folks, Lady Grey Miner, Madam Silvertide is kind of giving last-minute instructions to the Goliaths, and then all the bar staff is there. So Lady Grey Miner does stand up at this point, and she says, "Alright, well, I think I've earned a good night's sleep tonight." And the bar staff kind of laughs, like, yeah, you kind of did. So she points to the guy that ran out with the water barrel, says, "Mac, I'm putting you in charge for the rest of the night." She kind of looks outside and says, "We'll keep the kitchen open for another hour. Keep it super light. We're not going to don't worry about trying to make any complicated meals or anything like that. We'll keep the bar open for another hour after that. Otherwise, just shut it down. And she turns and she gestures to the waitstaff. It says, "Whatever these folks instruct you to do with those bodies, you just follow what they do." And I'm going to bed because I'm really tired all of a sudden.
Now, what is light? What's a light meal? Does that include waffles?
Then it'll be fine.
But I'm hungry.
We can get. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Hungry.
Sure. That's fair. All right. So she says, "All right. Well, you all have a good night. Get a good night's sleep. We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow morning to have another crack at it." And you see her head back towards the kitchen area.
Rest well.
Yep. And so at this point, Mac kind of says, "All right, well, let's clear off that fire-ridden area over there. Pitch all those balls." And she turns to you and she turns to the group and says, "All right, what do you want us to do?"
We need to check for evidence first. I would like to help Kira check the body.
All right.
Same.
All right.
I'm going to walk over and I'm going to start talking to them. I'm going to be like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. And I have them their backs facing the body so that they can go through them.
Sure.
So here's what we need to do. We need to talk about the bodies and everything, and we need to make sure they're going to be lined up. We're going to go from head to toe.
We're completely looting them.
Okay. All right. So give me, Flynn, give me a quick persuasion check.
Persuasion or performance?
I'll give you a performance.
Those questions.
I'll give you a performance. And then who is investigating the bodies?
I want to help whoever is best, but if we have to do it separately, then me too.
All right.
So that's a 15.
15? I mean, you get some people that are trying to turn around and look at what's going on, and the buddy next to them is
you need to pay attention.
Yeah. Guy next to him elbows him. It's like, dude, pay attention. Remember, Lady Greymatter says they're in charge. He's like, sorry. All right. So, are you guys going to investigate any specific bodies, or are you just saying you want to go through everybody in general?
Just all of them in
Well,
general.
first start with Cletus.
I was going to say, I think I would specifically want to look at Cletus.
Okay. All right. So
that hurt.
I bet it did. All right. So go ahead and you roll your investigation check. Did you want to help her with this one then, Jen?
Yes, please.
All right. So you get
both
advantage.
rolling or no?
I think I just gave her advantage, right?
Do you want to investigate Cletus as well? Because we'll do this.
It doesn't matter.
Okay,
I just
so
want
we'll
to
do
give
this.
Chris the advantage if possible.
Okay, so we'll have her investigate Cletus with advantage, and then she'll help you to give you advantage to search the rest of the bodies. Sound good?
Cool.
All right.
Yes. Investigation. Thank you for the advantage. That is a 17.
17.
Nice.
Nice, very nice, very nice. So you search
I rolled
through
a
his.
14 and a 5.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, which one? Which one rolled the 14? Which one rolled the 9?
This one rolled the 14.
Ah!
I'm annoyed that you're being proved correct. We'll see if it holds.
You're welcome. So yeah. So you rifle through his pockets, and Jen's kind of peeking over and be like, "Oh, I see a pocket there. Check that one." And you're like, "Oh yeah, sorry." So you go through his pockets. You find, 5 silver pieces. Nothing too substantial there. You do come across a amulet that was strung around his neck that has that half of it is a heart and the other half is a skull.
Oh, that must be the god.
Goddess of life and death. And in one of his pockets, inside the jacket he was wearing, you do pull out a. Just call it what it is. It's a manifesto. It's about 5 paragraphs long,
Jeez.
and it is It's beefy. So what I can do, if you'd like, is I can DM you what it says.
Sure, and then I
So you
can
can
Cliff Notes
you
it.
can cliff notes it for the group later on, or you can even cliff notes it like on the break or something like that.
Sure.
Now Tony has to do a TikTok of the manifesto in character.
I could probably read through it in under 3 minutes. So I don't know how many people would watch it at that point, but
That's a long manifesto. Is it just like general sense more of the same though, of what he was spouting outside?
Is Lockjaw reading this? Why would it take you 3 minutes?
I don't know, because I want to get into character about it. Okay, so I got to figure out how to send this to you.
Thou shalt not urinate on thine feet.
4 is right out. You shall not count to 1 unless you proceed to 2, and you do not stop at 2 unless you immediately proceeding to 3, and at 3 you shall stop. 4 is right out. Okay, I'll stop.
I feel like I'm trying to cross a bridge, but there's a
It just
troll in my
says,
way.
You must
I
not
can't
pass
remember
go.
my
You
favorite
must
color.
not collect $200.
Corn flab it. Okay. All right. So.
How does corn flab?
I don't know, but I don't want to see it.
All right. So I'm gonna have to putz around with this a little bit. So I'm working on it. Okay.
We can do it during the break or something. That's fine.
Okay, so that's Cletus. All right, so Kira, you will now, after you're searching Cletus's body, you will go over and help Morag roll her investigation check. So you
So
get that
advantage. Also, I added that 5 silver to the party funds.
Okay.
Just because.
Thank God for advantage, because I rolled a nat 1 on 1.
Oh no!
That'll be a 15.
15. So you rifle through the pockets of the other 5 individuals. The 2 commoners that ran to the door, they didn't have... they had the same amulet, the half heart, half skull, and they had, like, 4 copper pieces on them. Not much there. Pitchfork guy had like a couple silver piece and the same amulet. Nothing else really substantial unless you wanted to like go through like the weapons and stuff.
Sure.
I mean, there's nothing special about it. He just had there weren't any like special magical weapons or anything like that.
Oh.
And
What about
then
the positivity sword?
Yep. Was that? I forgot that was Pitchfork guy had the positivity sword.
No, it was the
no,
shield guy.
it was the shield guy.
Shield guy had
Yeah.
positivity sword. Yep. So the ranger, the orc ranger, had once again same thing, couple of silver pieces, same amulet. Shield guy had the amulet. He had like 5 silver pieces on him as well. And in one of, kind of slipped on, like, kind of shoved last minute in, it looks like under his armor, is a folded up piece of paper.
What is it?
So you take it
Another
out,
manifesto.
you open it up, and it's a couple of stick figures drawn. And at the top, in very chicken scratch writing, says, "I love you, Daddy."
Motherfucker. I quit.
I'm gonna go find this kid and say, "Your dad
Kid
sucks."
shouldn't have had a shit parent.
Ryu
Give the
and
kid the sword
Ryu-
of positivity, and they'll be happy.
Ryu kind of sees your reaction. He walks over and kind of looks at the paper. Man made his choice. He has to live with the consequences.
Not wrong.
Kid will get over it eventually.
Jesus.
Do we know his name?
Never learned his name.
Is no. No, and he didn't mention Cletus didn't mention the names of any of the others, right?
Nope.
He just called them like guys or boys.
He said,
or
"Let's go,
whatever.
let's go, guys." Yeah.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
go, girls. Dun, dun.
No
We
names,
should-
but
we
he
should
swords
ask-
he holds a sword positively.
We should ask Lady Grey Manor in the morning if she knows any of the others' names.
Makes sense to me. All right.
What about the sword? Is it a
Uh,
long sword or a short sword?
okay. All right. So I finally got that sent to you,
It's a
Christy. So
sword,
let me
half
know if you
full.
can't read it or anything like that.
Okay. Sure.
All right. All right. Cool. Otherwise, I saved it a different way so I could send it to you a different way. So.
Okay.
All right. The sword is nothing of note. Just a simple short sword. You get the feeling that like
I'm
at
gonna
least
pick it.
Very plain.
this was not a group that was really built for combat. Especially trying to remember that like Pitchfork guy, what he tried to do when he cast Sanctuary on Cletus, and Shield guy was trying to stay as close as he could to Cletus, that this was not like rough and tumble fighters, that these were
How do you start the fight?
like
Yeah.
well, not for everybody. I mean, Cletus was the one that stabbed, and he's the one that started stuff. So you get the feeling that they may have had ill intentions, but they were not equipped to. They were not ready or equipped or trained or whatever you want to frame it for combat.
To act on them, basically.
Yeah.
That guy's practically a farmer. I mean, hey, it's in his genes.
No.
That's it. That's strike 2. He's getting a pun counter or a bad joke counter.
Yeah, come on, Claire. We need. Is Bill going to be punished as well, or is it just me?
It's just the DM. Whoever's DM.
Okay, fine. I see how it is.
Wow.
Oh,
So, next time,
So when
next
Bill
time
is DM,
Yeah, I call partner
Yeah.
privilege, so now I'm giving him a counter.
okay, there we go. That works.
Fair.
So, Claire, what's Clancy's mindset while all this is happening?
he's just kind of thinking about where
Tomorrow?
these people could have come from and what their religious beliefs are, that they would just outright attack people.
That's fair. Yeah, it's a mystery that we'll have to see if you guys can figure out. So, all right, so you guys finish rifling through everyone's pockets. At this point, Bill, you kind of finish up your directions, and everyone's kind of like, "Yeah, thanks for the pep talk. Yeah,
That
sucked, and there's dead bodies behind us, but we're alive, right? Yeah, we're alive."
Okay, let's do this. Let's keep the blood off the carpets. There we go. Here we go.
All right. So then they all kind of scatter, and you see some people head back to like the kitchen area. Kind of start, you start hearing pans moving around and stuff like that, like they're making stuff. You do see a couple head over to, kind of, take the bottles that were broken and like the shelves that were like destroyed, kind of like trying to clean up and all that. You see, the rest of the staff trying to take down like general, do like general cleanup and kind of wrap up from evening's activities. There are a couple hanging around. That like, hey, we can help move the bodies if you guys don't want to do it.
That'd be great.
That's
why we were talking
fantastic.
about this.
Okay.
Loudly.
Sounds good.
All right. So yeah. So they take the bot. So you see them kind of take one body at a time. Like, where do you think we should take them?
Where do you throw your disposable things outside?
No, the cult might be coming.
I'm not saying throw them in the trash, but keep it beside it. They're gonna have an area where smells go.
Just not out front, somewhere in the back.
Yeah, we have
Out of the way of the roads.
we have like a compost area, like a couple, couple dozen feet back behind the resort.
Not
Let's-
in it.
let's-
Just
We're not gonna put it in
next
it.
to it.
We're gonna put it next to it so that the smell doesn't get to anybody. And you have like something to cover it over, right? Do you have like canvas or anything like that?
Yeah. They kind of like flag when the bartenders clean up and say, "Hey, we got like canvas or something like that we can cover these up, right?" Oh yeah. There's some should be in the storage area. All right. So they run off and go back into that that back room, and then they come back and there's like a large 6 foot by 6 foot canvas that's wrapped up that he's got slung over his shoulder.
Perfect.
All right. So he takes that out and they start scooping bodies one at a time out. And at this point, Mac does come over to you guys and says, "All right, Will, you did us all a great favor. I don't know if you want to hang out for a bit. We'll cook you up another meal or get you some drinks or something like that. If you're gonna hang out for a bit, we'll let you have the place for a little bit before we yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All of the above
Yes
sound
to both,
amazing.
please.
Perfect.
All right. We'll whip up some food for you guys. Don't worry about on the house, obviously. All right, get these fine. All right, get these fine folks something to drink. Okay. Yes, sir. He's like, all right, I'm gonna go back. Make sure we get something nice for you. Thank you again. Wanders up.
Thank you.
Wanders
This is
up.
nice. We get to hit somebody and we get fed. I like it.
Was that just like me
I'm-
ventriloquisting you?
Yeah. Morag,
That doesn't sound like Flynn at all.
Oh,
Jen
Jen,
dropping
get
off
your
on him
hand out of my
finally.
butt. That one should be
Morag
flipped.
is gonna go over to Kira and just say, Ryo would like to have a talk with you tonight,
Oh.
if at all possible. He's being
Yeah.
very cooperative, not going to lie. But I think it would be very beneficial to the group as a whole to be there if that's something you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I think it's more if he's comfortable with it, because you guys know pretty much most of my history. So wait, did you tell me his opinion of me? I don't remember.
Not yet.
Okay. I mean, I don't know him specifically, so I don't know. You guys know most of the stuff about me, so I don't care. But I don't know his business, and I don't know if he'll be comfortable speaking freely in front of everybody. But we can ask.
Definitely. He said he'd be willing to help at least a little. So whatever
Alright.
information he can give, I would gladly take.
Yeah, well, I'm mostly interested in like when he left and what the guild was like before he left, and if he'd heard
Right.
any rumors or if they'd been working with anybody, like this Jillian character that has Flynn all worried, or I'd have to go back in the list because I don't remember any of the other names. But just looking at see if any of these other names ring a bell or anything like that.
Any one of the dragon parts.
I'm mostly interested to know why there's people following us as a group around that have the face tattoos, and if he knows any information about that.
Well, yeah, and I think that's tied into the guild because I assume that they're doing it because of this whole everything seems tied together, and Nightshade seems to be a part of it, and I can't imagine that they would be following us of their own free will. I suspect that they're doing it on orders. I just wonder.
Yeah, and you said that
Why?
the face tattoos aren't necessarily that common, right?
Mm-mm. Not necessarily.
How common would you say it would be? Like one per city or several?
Well, I don't really know.
If you had to
Because
make,
I didn't really work with them. That wasn't my job.
Okay.
I don't know. How common were they? How common would I think that they would be, Tony?
I mean,
I didn't really interact with them that much. So
Yeah,
I can't
you
imagine
didn't-
that
yeah.
I would have a great handle on how many there are.
I mean, you knew that there was, there seemed to always be a rotation of the same group that would take on these kind of jobs. Now, granted, because they were, most of the time assassinations or really bad stuff like that, it wasn't normally more than like one or two. But it'd be very common for you to see, be like, oh yeah, I recognize that name because I saw that name took a really dangerous job like 2 weeks ago, kind of thing.
Okay.
So I would say, to give you kind of a ballpark figure, I'd say maybe like, it's hard to pinpoint an exact number.
Somewhere between like 25 and 40 in the guild.
You're thinking there's probably easily, because there's 13 cities plus smaller towns and stuff like that. So you're thinking about maybe at least like 70 or 80 members in the guild total at like its peak.
Gotcha.
And then
I thought it was much bigger than that.
Yeah. It's hard to tell because there would with the Thieves Guild they never kept like a clean. Yeah, and there was never like a clean
they
census.
know about the guild to a certain degree.
Right. He's
Yeah.
giving us what she knows.
Yeah, and it's also like there wasn't a specific roster or census that was kept track. So of
Yeah, but I would have seen like how many of the same names roughly
like
would I
10, 15, 20. Granted,
Wow. Okay.
that was also like how many years ago at this point?
Yeah.
So.
True.
Well, I left little over 2 years ago, so.
Yeah, but
So-
you also know that Thieves Guild, is fluid.
It's a high turnover.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in that particular line of work
Yeah.
or level.
So
of
this
work,
is like
I
a
should say.
very rare kind of thing. This is like
It's-
epic proportions. Like, why are
it's
we
not-
seeing this many people?
It's not. Well, we have many. How many have we seen? Only like 2 or 3, right?
2.
Yeah,
2.
but if it's only
So-
like
And it could have been the
15
same person.
It could have been the same. Yeah,
True.
exactly. We don't know. We
Well,
didn't see his
Ryu
face,
has a
so
face
her
tattoo.
face.
Do we
So
think
we
it-
can ask Ryu if he was in Furon a couple of days ago.
I'll add that to the list of questions.
I thought we
because-
already rolled for that. If she recognized him as the same person.
No, because I never saw
She's
them.
never.
Clancy's
Yeah,
the only one that ever saw them.
Clancy's the only one that saw the figure, and Kira hasn't really met
I don't-
Ryu yet. So.
I was too love struck to understand.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like,
Hey,
oh,
hey Clancy, that's not the same guy, is it?
And roll for that.
You
Or
can.
is it just based off, like, immediately know it's not him, or I can't tell because it was hooded at the time?
I would say, yeah. I would say the hood was up. You did roll. I think you rolled a nat 20 on that. You rolled a nat 20 on the late night spotting, which that nat 20 let you see them. Not even
Yeah.
like get details. All you saw was face tattoo. So I'd say you don't. I would say you wouldn't know for sure.
But what about at the bar the first time you saw him? He walked in with his face fully exposed.
I would give you a history check if you want to try to remember. Try to put it together. Yeah, I was gonna say after we kind of wrap up this little interaction, then we can take a break.
17 total.
17 total doesn't exactly match, but also it was very much like that individual walked in, scanned, and walked out. So they were there
Yeah.
for 20 seconds at the most. So, but it didn't. You're like 75% sure that wasn't him.
Okay.
So it's hard to say. It doesn't look like him. The only thing similarity I can tell is he has a face tattoo, which it could be a different face tattoo. You never know. So I'd say we be careful, but I'm not sure at this point.
Yeah, I'm just worried about Kira.
No, don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
Too bad. That's what I do.
All right. So, this seems like a good spot to take our break. So go get a snack, go get a drink, go potty, Kaylee. and hopefully
Go
get to go
Pat, go Pat.
potty.
Don't jinx it, Tony.
Good.
Don't jinx it.
All right, so enjoy this fantastic clip reel, and we'll see you back in about 5 to 10 minutes.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is
Thing
fine.
usually.
Yes,
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
right.
You do also call everyone.
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my mind,
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug at the door. Why did you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
so
He is indeed a natural.
Natural
He
Jeff.
is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were
onto-
tying up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the
Oh.
woods. Yeah.
you're dragging bodies down the road on your car.
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down the road. They're on
We
like
made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just going to leave them in the woods. Come on.
Is I'm not
Jeffrey,
a
that's
mu-
the dogs. That's the dog.
Well,
Did you
thank
hear
you
it
for telling
in
me,
your mind?
Natasha.
Did you hear that in my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's
wrap
basically
bucket.
50 elven children going all over the place. So,
Oh!
but with axes
That's
because it's axe training day.
that's it. That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love
I-
it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind
Good
of
to
like,
see it.
yep, he, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, go start.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
little bit.
Very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I
Oh,
mean for
God.
another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a
describe yourself.
picture in the Discord.
Yeah.
Fine, we don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive.
So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value,
Mert Master.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
Bye.
Three halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my god.
We are doing that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have a
Alright.
trench coat.
All right, but I'm
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
That's good. Well, because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is fine.
Usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right, right.
You do also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do. I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug at the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural.
Natural
He
Jeff.
is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we didn't just leave them in the
Oh.
woods. Yeah.
You're dragging bodies down the road on your cart?
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down
a-
the road. They're on
We
like
made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just gonna leave them in the woods. Come on.
Is I'm not
Jeffrey, that's
a
the dogs. That's the dog.
Well,
Did you
thank
hear
you
it
for telling
in
me,
your mind?
ta-ta!
Did you hear that, my
He
mind?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's
rock
basically
bucket.
50 elven children going all over the place. So,
Oh!
but with axes because it's axe training day.
That's it. That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love
I-
it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind
Good
of
to
like,
see it.
yep, he, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls
it?
it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, go start.
Now this, goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Looking, found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean
God.
for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord. Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive.
So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value, Matt.
Mert Master.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin. It's fine.
Bye.
Three halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my god.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are three of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have
All
a
right.
trench coat.
All right, but I'm
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is fine.
Usually.
Yes,
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
right.
You do also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
Licks the door.
the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
so.
He is indeed a natural.
He is a natural, Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
He is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass-fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
didn't just leave them in the
Oh.
woods. Yeah.
You're dragging
Okay.
bodies down the road on your cart?
We're not
We
dragging
made
them down the road. They're on like
we made a
little
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
A sled. Like a sled.
We're not barbarian.
We're not just going to leave them in the woods. Come on.
I'm not.
Jeffrey, that's the dogs. That's the dog.
Well,
Did you
thank
hear
you
it
for
with your
telling me,
mind?
Tasha.
Did you hear that, my
He
nine?
can talk.
Oh, and you must be the Jeffrey.
There it is. The Jeffrey.
And he looks at you longingly. And hold on. Gotta check something. Gotta check something. Hold. Hold.
Was that good for longing?
Longing.
Yes, this is how the actual people you're training.
Now I need to
There's
rock
basically
pocket.
50 elven children going all over the place. So,
Oh!
but with axes, because it's axe training day.
That's it. That's it.
So you gave me the necklace, and I love
I-
it.
Thank you.
Do you still have the other half?
Of course. And he kind
Good
of
to
like,
see it.
yep, he, kind of ruffles
Oh,
his
he's
shirt and
wearing
pulls it out. Yep.
Okay.
The thing where the smoke comes out.
Chimney! There you go.
Really? Really? I'm kidding.
That's amazing. That's so good.
It was mostly the face with a.
Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, go start.
Now this goblin knot. It's not a plant I've ever heard of, but it could just be another misspelling. Because maybe that K is an S. He sort of turns the paper a little bit. Yeah, that must be what it is. Parvovis cabolus muca involta. Goblin snot. Bugbear boogies. Used in pungent poultices and unctuous ointments due to its veritable viscosity. It binds ingredients together, provided you don't care how noxious the result is. For reasons I'm sure you can imagine, I don't keep any around. You'll have to ask a goblin.
You realize, Jeff, that for now and forever, every time someone says your name on stream, we're gonna be like,
Jeffrey!
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Both. It's a mix of both.
Found something you have.
You're also blowing out on the mic.
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
very true.
Be here all night.
Oh.
And by all night, I mean for another hour.
Looks like that.
I can't see that.
Right there.
Oh, okay. I would like you to.
There's a picture in the Discord.
Yeah.
Fine. We don't have to do it then.
She's a very plain widow.
No. And like the metal of the armor is just gonna kind of like ripple up my arm and just show like the nub, and then it will come back.
Yeah, what if Xing Xing did it?
Like very Terminator style.
Look at my nub.
Dun 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 dun.
That needs to be clipped.
Ask me about my nub.
Ask me about my nub.
Yes, exactly.
Take my strong hand.
There's like a vein popping out in your forehead, turning red.
This is my happy vein.
Happy vein. I got closer than last time. She looks at you and she goes, impressive.
So happy.
That's the exact same thing he said to you in the dream.
Go on.
That's it.
Fuck.
I am not Matt Mercer. Hi, I'm off-brand Matt Mercer. Great value, if you will.
Great value, Matt.
Mert Masser.
Mert Masser. Oh shit! No, I'm just Devin.
Bye.
Oh my God.
3 halflings in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
Oh my god.
We are doing
Okay.
that at some point because there are 3 of us.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
There you
Needs
go.
to be done. And I have
All
a
right.
trench coat.
All right, but I'm.
We like clips.
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 Clips are very important.
You should definitely make clips of today. If you don't, I will find you, and I will TPKO you.
That's good. Because I was worried because your friends seem to get mad at you.
Friend is a loose term. See, I say friend because while I don't really have any friends like you all, I have things that don't kill me, and I count that as a good thing.
That is fine.
Usually.
Yes.
I lived a life a long time ago, so I understand.
Right, right.
You do also call everyone
Would you
your friend.
consider us friends?
I do. I do.
I would like to say that we are friends. Are we friends?
Well, we haven't killed you yet.
Well, then in my
All right.
Goes to kiss her and closes the door in his face.
You gotta tug at the door. Why would you do that?
Why do you go in tongue first? Learn your lesson.
Natural Jeff.
So,
He is indeed a natural.
Natural
He
Jeff.
is a natural Jeff.
We rolled a natural Jeff.
he is not a box Jeff. He's natural Jeff.
Yeah. So organic, not from a box.
Yeah.
Grass fed.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's natural Jeff.
There you go.
You're bringing the bodies?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we loaded up the bodies.
That's right. We were tying
onto-
up and doing the dragging thing.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
didn't just leave them in the
Oh.
woods. Yeah.
Now.
Hey! You said now. So I said, you said now, so I go.
That's not what I
Oh.
said now.
Oh, 2 plus 3 equals note taker? All right. So, okay. So we'll let you.
Maybe.
Okay. So, welcome back, everyone. Hope you got your drink. Hope you got your snack. I hope you went potty. Kaylee?
I did.
Yay! All right.
Congratulations.
Shout out. Shout out. For those that don't know, they share a bathroom with a lot of people, so it's always a challenge to get to the bathroom. So.
1 bathroom,
We
7
like
people in
party.
the house.
We
Sounds
like,
like you need
we
a
like
trough.
party.
Oh, ew.
That might
Nope.
work for people with other plumbing than me.
That might work for people that have standards in class. So welcome back. So, we left the party. They just kind of cleaned up the mess. Flynn had taken charge of helped take charge of the wait staff, got stuff organized and all that. So while Christy's looking at notes and trying to draw parallels, Kaylee, Jen wanted to talk about something. I am great at this.
Oh, you threw me off. And that sneezing fit threw me off.
Yes. You want to talk to Clancy
About
about people and
if
if
Clancy
they
recognizes the language, the language used and the ideology of this manifesto.
manifesto.
So hey, Clancy. So I'm assuming that Kira has showed this to us, and we're like,
Yeah,
as he was
I'll
eating.
have handed it off.
Manifesto kind of sounds like a cannibal's pasta.
Anyway.
I mean, doesn't it?
That's 3.
I'm being serious.
So tonight at Cannibal's Delight, we're gonna have a lovely manifesto with a side of ladyfingers.
Would you like some parmesan on that? All right, there's a bad joke.
Eating people.
So I'm gonna be looking over this letter, and I'm gonna sort of like nudge Clancy while eating, and be like, Clancy, they're talking about like you can't defeat us more than once, whatever. Does this sound like Lionheart kind of stuff, like pre-revolution kind of stuff?
Would Clancy have heard anything like that leading up?
I would say you would know people that talked like the. Well, the problem is you left pretty much before the revolution started.
Yeah.
Like with your upbringing, you were around a lot of religious folks, so maybe they talked like this, but they talked about it in clouded language, you know. So if you think you were old enough at the time to kind of read between the lines, I'd say, yeah, you probably could heard some groups, like when your family entertained leaders of the religious groups and whatnot, that you heard some people talked about this in veiled terms. Or if you think you were just kind of like, you were so not involved with the family that maybe you didn't pay attention to this stuff much. I leave that up to you.
Yeah. No, well, he was basically forced to be very involved until he left, so.
Okay. So then, how would Clancy respond to Jen's question?
I mean, we had entertained a lot of religious types. Honestly, they just kind of talk like any other group would.
So you don't think this is reading specifically that this might be tied to the Lionhearts, but more that but not ruling it out, kind of? Is that the feeling?
I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's specifically tied, but they definitely could have at least talked to the Lionheart family or had some involvement with something we don't know.
I
mean, we don't understand where they lie on magic or anything, so.
Yep. Now, Morag, this would also sound familiar to this kind of talk. Would sound familiar to you based on what happened to you after the events of what happened with your parents.
I was actually going to ask that.
Yep. So.
Whoa.
So you hear
Yes, it's
Clancy.
familiar to me as well.
Well done. Well done.
Hero point.
Thank you.
Hero point. Excellent role playing. Saying yes.
Acting 100.
And action.
And flip that.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
I'm great.
So, but what do you mean that context then, Morag? So you said you've heard this kind of talk before. In what context?
Well, I didn't really tell you all this, but my father was actually in the King's Guard.
For the Lionhearts?
Correct.
Is that why you're looking for him? That's why you've been asking about it?
No, I'm looking for him because he's missing.
I'm just gonna shut up.
We all tried so hard to hold character.
I do, I'm sorry.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Shirley.
Oh god, is this our reverse math moment?
Oh my! No, I already had a reverse math moment when I called it reverse.
Oh, that's right, you did do that. I forgot that you did actually do that. Great, now we got two of them.
Oh god.
Yep.
Let's see.
I forgot what I was saying.
So he worked for the
Manifesto.
Wait, so
my
wait
father
a minute.
was
So your family supported the Lionhearts?
more like the Lionheart supported my family. We weren't necessarily, for all intents and purposes, we had
You weren't a
faced
loyalist, you just had employment there. Family did.
Sort of. It wasn't a full buy-in. My father worked through the ranks, and
Oh, is it
so
like
it was
conscription?
something that just sort of came with the rank, so to speak, but it wasn't necessarily full beliefs in everything.
It was a job.
Did he join the army volunteer, or was it conscription?
He started. What's the army equivalent of a water boy?
Private.
Private.
Right, because if you're in the military, no matter what you're doing, yeah, like you've signed up or you've been drafted.
Yeah.
He signed up, but it wasn't necessarily
He had to feed his family.
correct.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I will say though, he was a high-ranking military member by the time he disappeared.
Was he defecting against the? Sorry.
No.
Oh, no, go ahead. Finish.
No, he was not defecting at all. He was still fighting.
For the Lionhearts. Was your village or home attacked during the revolution? Is that what happened, or?
That's why I look like this.
So, were you supportive of the Lionhearts? I mean, no, you were probably kind of young, I guess, but
I was only 9. I didn't really know what was happening.
this is a lot.
I
to take in.
say that it wasn't a full support because my mother was magic. And she had to keep it secret.
Yeah, high-ranking official. Is that why your home was attacked?
No. Actually, I don't know what happened to my house. It just sort of exploded. We were using it as my mum and I were actually using it as a place, sort of a convalescent home, to help people mend and heal from the war, because the front was not that far. So, trying to get that together.
Yeah,
and
that sounds exactly like you were attacked then. If you were a place that was healing people, any word got out about that, they'd be looking.
No, we didn't do anything magically. That's actually the sort of strange part about this, because long story long, basically that night that my parents disappeared, my dad was brought in and he was badly wounded, so of course everybody helped him get to my parents' chamber. And as they were going there, my mum made me go get bandages, and I was begging her to just let us use magic. We could just close the door, no one would know. We could just stay in there, we could say he's resting, no one would know. We can put fake bandages on him, whatever. But she refused, so I went to the storage room to get the bandages, and as soon as I exited that room, there was a bursting light, flames everywhere. I tried to go into their chamber, but people were dragging me out of the house. I tried to go back in, and that's when it exploded, and I lost my arm and part of my hair and face.
Just gonna pour a drink and slide it across the table to you.
Grabs with nub.
I don't know if I know enough about magic. The assumption or the feeling that I get, sort of out of character, but like what Jen is feeling, is, and like I said, I don't know if I know enough about magic to really make this assumption, but my gut was, this fear of, does that mean that her mother exploded the room after she left? Should I check to see if I could have that concept, or is it okay to make that assumption, or as far as like to? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, out of character, that's what Morag thinks.
Okay.
She thinks that her mother made a fake explosion, got them out of the house so that she could heal him properly and quickly, because he was quickly dying.
Okay, I guess we could play this out if you're okay with me being able to make this assumption because I've watched Clancy do magic, Tony.
Sure. Oh, sorry.
It's your guy. Hey, it's your guy.
It was more of if I needed to make an Arcana check to be like, would I even gather that? But
I mean, you've seen Clancy do magic, and based on the story she told, you could start asking your own investigative questions from there.
So I guess what I would wonder, if you want to skip, but assume that you just said that out loud. I'm more so, you think she left the house, but I mean, is there any, like, what if do you think that she just like ran off, or do you think that she went to another plane, or do you think that she destroyed herself and your father?
I don't think that they were destroyed. I know the explosion started in their bedchamber, which is why I think that she made the explosion happen. She was very powerful. But the reason I think that they are both still alive is because I went back a week later after I had healed and could cope again, I suppose. I went back and we actually had a magically sealed cellar in our home that no one could enter except for the three of us. And it was absolutely untouched by the fire, and there were things missing.
So it was unlocked or opened or whatever?
It was not. It was still sealed, but there were things missing that were there that very morning. So I think personally that she created the explosion as a diversion to get out, and then went back in to get supplies or something. I don't know. That's why I'm looking for them. I know they're still out there.
Completely out of character. I literally just had this thought of maybe she tried to cauterize the wound with fire and just cast fireball and rolled a 1.
Worst net one ever.
Nailed it.
I don't see why, if she had done that, why she wouldn't have taken you with her. I let alone, especially since you were wounded, she obviously knew that you could have been killed doing the explosion immediately after you closed the door. Like, that's insane to me. I guess I don't understand why you'd be looking for them if she apparently didn't care whether she killed you when she ran off or killed herself and her husband.
I think now I understand a little bit more with the whole dreams escapade that happened a few weeks ago, because the lion's thing came up, and clearly that has something to do with my father. So maybe they're trying to keep me safe by keeping me out of it. Maybe they knew something, or my father knew something, and that's why they left, to protect me, so that, you know, they could possibly fight the good fight or what have you from a safe distance by not bringing me into it at such a young age.
Well, they're lucky to have such a forgiving daughter.
I don't know about forgiving. Understanding, sure. Not necessarily forgiving.
And just to clarify what I'd said earlier, you may have heard a little bit of this kind of talk when you were around your family, but this was more in depth with the folks you stayed with after.
Don't even get me started on them.
Yeah, but the folks after you
Little
had to
Debbie.
leave and find new living arrangements and whatnot. This sounds closer to what they sounded like.
So it is sounding, and then so do we think this is also connected to, I'm gonna look at Kira, look at everybody. Do we think that this is also connected to the parades?
So here's the thing. I just remembered by flipping back through my notes. So one of the things that happened during the parade was that robbery at Repercussions. Remember? Those people infiltrated and stole a magical item. That magical item was a sword called Ilhena's Blessing, actually.
Really?
Yeah. We had talked about it with, I'm pretty sure it was Icewind that told us that at one of our meetings before we left. So,
That's exactly what this is!
I wonder if, here's my thing, here's what I'm wondering. So we've got Jillian and his group. We've got Nightshade involved in this somehow. We've got face tattooed people. Is Ryu anywhere near us?
He's kind of sitting at
Over
the
at
bar getting a drink, kind of waiting, because he told Morag,
So
come
we're
get me.
like,
Yeah.
Separate. Okay.
Yeah.
We've got face tattooed, eye level guild members involved in this, and now we've got this crazy religious fanatic that is a member of the sect of the religion of the magical artifact that was stolen. I'm wondering if all of these separate groups are working together to bring down the current regime.
Or to bring up the Lionhearts again, yeah.
Or to bring up some combination of that. Personally.
Oh my gosh, that's
my
exactly what I was
personal
wondering. That was my gut feeling.
theory. I don't like this language about rising stronger, if we should fail, the Ilhena bring us back into the fray. That just speaks of...
Cult.
Yeah. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, for sure. But that was, I think... I don't know,
So-
Tony, if that's what you're trying to guide me towards, but that's what I found in my notes.
I bet it was.
Sound like a bunch of shiny, happy people.
Yeah, I'm just not. I don't like this. But I still, from reading this, I can't tell if it's the religion as a whole, or if it's just these crazies, zealots.
I don't know, but it could be like Dragon's Claw. A small portion of something larger.
Yeah. So I still think we should go to Moore and report to the garrison there and get
Iceland's
some
gonna need
more.
to know about this.
Definitely. We should definitely talk to Icewind, or at least get a message to him through the garrison. I think we should ask our questions there. And I mean, I know Huertazog is the other side of the continent, but every place feels urgent. Like, I feel like we need to go everywhere now.
Yeah,
but like, I honestly think if it's on the way to like Ossine, we might as well stop at this commune and find out how deep this goes on our way back through.
I agree. And from Moore, if I remember correctly, it's pretty much a straight shot to Huertzog.
Yeah, and I think we go through Ossine.
Yeah,
if I
it's
remember,
on the
and
way.
that's one of the places that had an
And
incident.
Boros.
Oh
We
no!
need to go to
Oh,
Boros.
I remember. We do need to go to Boros, but Ossine is the place where there's the museum that we can ask more about the magical artifact. That's what it was. That's what it was. Not that there was an incident there, but that they had more information. We'd have to do some reading. Yeah. So, I was gonna go talk to Ryo. Ryo.
Ryo.
Do you want me to
Ryo.
go get him? Or do you want to talk to him privately?
Well, why don't you and I go over together to like do introductions, and we can find out. I can ask if he minds talking to the lot of us, or if he just wants it to be a one-on-one.
Works.
Right. Oh, and at this point, the few wait staff that's there has brought you guys like plates of food. It's just kind of like it's like snack
eating
food,
while we chat.
appetizers, kind of stuff. And you have noticed a few people kind of coming down. They walk over, talk to somebody at the bar, walk upstairs, and then like a wait staff like comes up with like the tray of food, runs it upstairs. Like some people are trying to order room service and stuff like that.
Oh my god, Jen, the cheese sticks. You have to try the cheese sticks.
Are they still hot?
Oh, they're very hot.
Jalapeno poppers.
Or do you go hush 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 hush?
Yeah, and Jen especially, since I believe you've kind of got your radars up, you are noticing the two Goliaths just death stare at everybody that comes down. Actually, no, because I forgot to retcon this. I apologize. After the conversation with Silvertide, she had gone back upstairs, and while you guys were sitting around having this conversation, you guys did notice two more Goliaths come down. similarly like dressed. Another male and another female. They're dressed in these, pinstripe suits, basically with the sleeves rolled up. And you see two of them go outside. And then the two that first came down kind of are standing by the door, but watching everybody coming up and down the stairs and kind of watching you guys.
Fun.
Not in a threatening, not in a, like, wrong mood, I'm going to kick your ass, but just like, you were in the middle of a lot of shit just has happened, so I'm going to keep an eye on you kind of thing.
Evening, boys.
You saw what we just did. Do you really want to fuck around and find out?
Oh yeah, I still got probably like a black eye a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm still half covered in blood.
She's still bleeding again. You guys always forget
Literally
to hear.
still bleeding.
Hey, Flynn, you got any more of those heals?
Sure do.
So
Oh,
you
no,
know,
I'm gonna wait for a long rest.
so you know what? So you know what I imagine? Like Morag's kind of like having this big heartfelt conversation about her parents, and she's like, "Sorry, still bleeding again. Yeah, sorry."
Basically, yeah.
Oh, 9.
There you go.
9 heal, 9 health.
Me?
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Still not even at half.
I rolled a 1.
Boy.
I mean, I could technically cure wounds myself, and I also have 2 potions of healing. But this brandy is real good.
It's doing the job.
It's doing its
Yeah.
magic.
Fair enough.
It's doing its magic.
I just picture like someone's trying to leave and they walk up and they're just like grabbing their coat and then look at the Goliaths and just like.
It's like Grandpa Simpson where he walks inside, puts the coat on, and then grabs the coat and walks back out.
Yep, exactly.
That's pretty much it.
So, before we go talk to Ryo, I just want to make sure the connection is clear in everybody's head because I just made it myself. So the weapon stolen in Hortusog is called Ilhana's Blessing. And the line from the manifesto literally says, "May the blessing of Ilhana bring us back into the fray."
Yeah, so they definitely have it. And that's
They
what I
definitely
was
have
going to
it.
say.
And I'm pretty sure that we don't want them to have it.
Right. And that's what I was going to say before you head off. Like, so it's seeming clearer and clearer that there is a much larger uprising than Icewind ever wanted to admit or even had any idea.
I would be willing to bet it's more than he knew. I think we're going and we're finding all this stuff out and putting pieces together that that's what they need us for. They need us to put the pieces together.
Yep.
Because they're just sitting in their cities, not, talking amongst themselves. We're going out and kicking ass in random bars.
Yeah. Yeah! I keep getting punched in the face. Rude!
I know.
Really?
Well, no, actually, I'm not getting
You seen
punched.
mine?
I guess I'm not getting punched this time. I think I took swords or something this time.
So yeah.
But, yeah.
All right. Let's go talk to Ryo.
All right. And okay, so let's. All right. So
What do you think? Do you want to go talk to the Goliaths?
All right,
Let them
so
do
we're
their
gonna-
job, Flynn. Why don't you play some nice calming music for everybody?
That's a good idea.
Don't you have Song of Rest? We could all get like extra hit points if we needed to.
With a short rest? Yeah, that's right.
Come on.
With a short rest or a long
Play
rest?
with a,
It's with a short rest, but it's if you're rolling for hit points.
yeah, I'm just like for flavor. Like that could be what you're doing. You know?
For flavor. I like flavor.
There we go.
Sing us
All
a
right.
song, you're the bardic man.
This music menacing.
He's
Music
playing
is
calm
menacing.
music, Tony. He's playing calm
Walks
music.
over to the bar, smacks face on bar, passes out. Like, what is this? What's up, Ryle? Blah. Like,
I have to tell you something.
keels over.
No, that's.
The princess is in another castle.
Ow!
There we go.
Peach, come back.
We'll try one more time. That one is a little bit more ominous than I was expecting. There we go. We'll try
little?
Oh, okay. I see what your problem was with Discord, by the way. I was trying to post that thing in our session notes. It doesn't like it. We'll
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah, it's
one
too
paragraph
long.
at a
Yeah.
time. One paragraph at a time.
that. Yep. All right. So,
Ooh.
there you go. Shout out to Tabletop Audio for providing awesome audio.
Yes.
The problem is like they put out so much that I want to like listen to all of it to find the exact right song for the exact right mood of every moment, and regrettably I just don't have the time to be able to do that. So that's why you hear a little bit of like, let me try that. Nope, not what I was going for. Let's try this. So
fair enough. All right, so you
all right.
guys can read the rest of the manifesto.
Yep.
Those of us, for anybody that's not going to be in this next conversation.
There you go. All right, so you two walk over to Ryu, and he's sitting there. He seems to have a particular type when it comes to drinks, because you see Morag, him sitting there with the glass, sipping on the same dark brown liquid that you've seen him drink almost every time you've interacted with him. So,
yes.
He's sitting there quietly, kind of like staring off.
I'm going to walk up to him. I'm going to tap on the bar to the bartender. I'm going to point at his drink and say, "Can I get one of those as well, please?" And then I'm going to wipe the blood off of my face.
And me.
Kira, nice to
Hello.
finally meet you.
Finally, meet. What does that mean?
Takes a drink. Bartender walks over, hands you guys the 2 drinks.
I'll be sitting there like this.
So,
looking back and forth from each of them.
yeah. So he turns to you and, kind of says, "So, did your friend here fill you in on, I don't know."
I'll just go ahead and stop you. No.
Oh, all right.
No, I didn't.
Fair enough. All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. So, what I mean by nice to finally meet you is that your name garnered a lot of attention around the guild after you did what you did and bailed.
Fuck, time to change it. All right.
You, you, got a bit of a reputation
For bailing.
for bailing, because you gotta admit, I'd been around the guild a while. Very few instances have I've heard of people not only leaving for good in the middle of a job, but also taking out fellow guild members and then bailing.
Do you know what those guild members were doing? Do you
I'm
know
gonna-
why we were sent there?
You were sent there to do a job that you signed up for, is what I...
That's not the job that I signed up for. That's why I bailed. I signed up to steal from rich people, which I say that in Thieves' Cant, just in case.
Yep.
I signed up to steal from rich people, not hard-working folks just trying to earn a living.
He goes back to say, regardless of what you think you signed up for or not, you signed up to complete a job. And taking out fellow guild members does not reflect well on anybody in the leadership.
What are they talking about? Muffins and biscuits?
Not there.
Did they make it?
Well, let's just say you didn't have to deal with the repercussions that they had to deal with for failing the job.
Fair enough. That's why I left, to be honest. In common, I'm gonna say I have some questions. You may or may not want to answer them based on apparently the reputation that I have.
Well, it's a reputation of secondhand accounts, I will say. And I don't want to say hearsay because obviously some of it's true, but to say there were rumors that went around, and because of that, what I'm doing is I'm giving you a chance to explain, and then I will be glad to be able to try to help in whatever you're looking for.
Fair enough. You want more gear for this? Do you care? We can talk in Thieves' Cant too.
She's in. She's all right. Your
Yeah,
your group as a whole seem all right, though. That fella that plays the instruments, I'd watch out for him if you're trying to kind of keep a low profile.
I'm like stuffing a waffle in my face. This is awesome!
Yes, look how many waffles I
It's
can do.
been a problem already, believe me. But
Jed, should we do an eating contest?
Look! Waffles! I'm a mouse!
I'm an Ella waffle.
If you're okay with talking with everyone, I'm sure we would all like to hear what you'd have to say, but also you're welcome to join us for food if you are hungry.
I could have a bite.
Yeah.
Sure. I said I don't know what you're looking for, but you proved yourself in that fight. You seem like upstanding folks, so give you the benefit of the doubt.
And I just walk over to the table.
I can eat you under the table, Flynn. That's not an offer you want to make.
Shh, they're coming. Don't say that stuff right now.
Kira's gonna just down the drink and ask for another before we walk over.
All right. I'm gonna need a Constitution savings throw from you.
That was amazing.
Oh, I missed something. Aw.
Well, she was saying I could eat you under the table.
Well,
I
because
said, shh, they're coming. Don't say that right now.
Oh,
I was
saucy.
Back to the fact that you said that we were going to have an eating contest.
At 20, by
Hey!
the way, for a total of 21.
And which dice is that?
That was, god damn it was this one. I hate that you're right about this. Just so that for everybody to have context on why I am so angry, I always test out my dice before we start. This one rolled a nat 1 when I was doing the test, and normally that means it goes right back in the box, never to be used again. And Tony said you should take your dice that rolls the worst and use it, and it's been working this time.
And roll yet, so I don't know.
Angry about it. Anyway,
Morag, did you slam your drink like she did, or are you sipping slowly?
No, I'm just sipping.
Okay, then you don't have to worry about Constitution saving throw because you're an alcoholic at this point.
Sitting back, sipping Jack.
I mean,
I'm
I do
kidding.
have a +8 on my con.
Yeah, so you'd be getting yeah. So once again, you've had Lockjaw's good stuff, so this is like breeze. And he kind of looks at you and, all right, he slams his down.
Fail.
Roll low.
Not that bad, but he definitely, like, you took it clean, and he's like, boom.
That's right.
Another one.
I kind of breathed that one in a little.
Yep, and he follows the three of you over, and you all sit down.
There's not even enough food here for us to have an eating contest.
The three of
Oh,
us?
there isn't.
How badly did that affect him? There's only 2 of us.
Oh, the three. Oh, sorry. Like I was including him with that. Sorry. So the three of you.
3 of us go over.
Yes,
Okay.
3 of you go over. Words are
Okay.
hard, especially when my brain hurts.
Kira's gonna sit down and just pull like the, I don't know, bread and butter over and start just
See,
like,
they have to eat too. There's not enough food for us to even
Yeah,
do that.
you're right.
uh,
One's gonna like stuff part of a waffle in his face and then take a shot of syrup.
And Ryu sits down as you're doing that and is like, "You're a crazy guy."
Nice to
hung
meet
out
you.
with many halflings. This
Can't-
is kind of normal.
Well,
It really is, though.
I'll say short folk like you are pretty uncommon.
See what I can do
believe
with
me.
butter.
Flynn! With the full mouth, I'm like, Flynn, will you
So-
put it on?
Like so at that point she was
Ryu.
like, "So what can I help you with?"
Kira's just gonna quickly go like, Flynn, Jen, Clancy, you know Morag. All right. The most of the information that I want is about the guild, but recently. So the first question I have is, how long have you been out? I mean, clearly you knew about me, and I've been out a little over 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been out about a year at this point. There was a lot of upheaval after you did what you did. So I figured I'd made my money. I could live pretty well for the rest of my life without having to worry about anything. So I one day just, went to the head of my the local guild office I worked at and said, I'm out, and left.
About a year ago. Did you work in Waynon, or did you work in another city?
I'd stop by Waynon from time to time because, obviously that's where the main office is. So if you're looking for any of the, if you're looking for the best paying jobs, also potentially, the most dangerous, that's where you'd start. Smaller places tend to have more pickpockety stuff, maybe some light burglary, stuff like that. Nothing too serious. Things for a moment. God, where was that? I think it was Oshena was the office that it was Oshena that was the office that I bailed on. But I would stop and Wayne on, because pretty much anybody that was anybody in the guild always stopped at the Wayne on office from time to time.
Now, do any repercussions come from leaving the guild? Because with like bards, even though you may retire, you may leave off, or whatever, they typically come back and say, "Hey, do you want to do a show?" No.
Well, if they find you, there may be, but most. I don't talk to a lot of fellow guild members that get out for that, because word can get back at any time. And if you leave with an unhealthy reputation, looks at Kira, you don't want to know what may happen when you get found. So any guild member that ever leaves does their best to not be found.
You just gotta keep doing that stuff.
Doesn't bode well. So you said there was a lot of upheaval after I left. What, how do you mean?
Well, some folks, because like I said, not only did you, leave a job in the middle of it, you also attacked 2 fellow members of the guild while getting out. Civil war is a little bit of a strong term, but there was definitely a lot of fracturing within the group in the guild, in terms of, well, do we go too far sometimes? He points to his face tattoo and looks at all you and says, I earned this. Obviously by not doing great things. I got paid for it, and I laid my head down every night saying that this was a result of my hard work and doing and taking care of myself. Now, how that affected anyone else, I try not to think about that. What's up?
I actually have a question about the whole face thing, because we've seen a few people around Furon, which it could have been the same person, that had the face tattoo. You don't think the Thieves Guild maybe has found Kira?
What I'm worried about.
Well, considering a lot of things, I wouldn't say the guild had been worried about trying to hunt her down.
Can I insight?
Really? Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead. Please, insight, because that was...
I want to insight check him because I'm now starting to get a little paranoid that he's like playing like the friend, but he's an assassin.
Okay, go ahead.
While you're doing an insight check, I'm just curious, what does the tattoo look like?
Tony, your dice thing.
What?
22.
True. So to answer your question first, Bill, his face tattoo is a dagger, like a curved dagger. The handle runs like from the side of his temple, and it runs like the curve runs back to his ear, and like the bottom part of the curve follows his jawline, like
Okay,
almost to the point where the blade tip is at the corner of his mouth.
And Kira, you had said before that when it came to any of these tattoos, they typically have a story as to how you got it.
Or it's personal. Like,
Yeah, or
it's not
true.
like you get a particular type of tattoo for a particular type of job. It's more, you get a tattoo in a particular place, and that means that you completed a particular level of job. But what you pick is personal to you. It might be related to the job, it might not. And she'll actually pull her shirt down a little bit, and she's got one right there. And it's just a little bird.
Okay.
First time you went hunting.
Did you assassinate the bird?
Yes.
Did you assassinate a bird?
I have a question that I need to know if it needs to be separated to a Kaylee question because I don't know how common knowledge this is.
Sure.
Do they get magic tattoos? Because those things are fucking cool.
They are cool.
I'll say you obviously Jen would not know that. If you wanna ask,
Would not know of their existence at all.
magic tattoos.
Yeah.
I mean, from where you're from, you know they exist.
Okay.
But you don't know.
Like, if tattoos are so big of a... Okay, so I'll word it this way then. So, Kira, if tattoos are such a big part of the culture with this guild, are the higher up, higher level, higher performing ones getting those tattoos that are like a weapon or armor that stays on your body? Like, I've heard of magically imbued tattoos that... Is it that kind of a ceremony, or is it just symbolic?
Mine's not. But it's not, and it's not like it's a ceremony. It's more like you get
or symbol. Yeah, I guess. Sorry.
It's just.
How
like
about
you,
and Ray at this point is like, how about I fill in the gaps? Oh, on your 22 insight. Oh, by the way, when you said Tony with your dice thing, I'm assuming this was you used a dice that rolled bad pregame.
I used the one that rolled a 1 and I got a 19.
I know what I'm talking about.
Lord.
22. He is being truthful, but leaving. He hasn't. There's something he's kind of leading up to with how he's talking, but at this point, you're getting the feeling he's being honest.
So okay, how about
and well intentioned.
Okay. All right. So I would like to, whether you're going to consider it deception or intimidation, I would like to, in his head, be like, "Hey there." So, and I'll look at him. So that
Hey there. Hey, buddy.
hey there. Just so you know, if you try to make a move to hurt Kira, it will not end well.
He kind of looks at you. He turns to Kira. Your friend just threatened to kill me.
She does that a lot. She's pretty protective, so I'm kind of not surprised. If it makes you feel any better, she's threatened to kill me too.
Fair.
She
Just to
bent
let you
his
know,
stomach
though.
really hard one time.
They're speaking these kids. Like...
Yeah. But he does, yeah. Okay, so
Oh, yeah.
he does go, all right, so back to this. just, I don't know if you want to tell her or not. I'll put her down if I need to.
I'll let her know. And I'm gonna just turn to Jen and be like, I can take care of myself. It's fine.
All right, so he says anyway. So back to the face tattoo. It's kind of considered a rite of passage. So whenever you sign up for your first assassination, if you're successful, you are taken, like, the person that posted the job takes you to get your tattoo done. It's usually, to what Kira said, it's usually symbolic to you in some way, whether it's symbolic of the type of job you took, whether it's symbolic of something from your past. You know, some idiots, when they get them, are just like, that looks cool, I'm gonna get it. And those guys are fucking morons.
Yeah. Agreed.
But those are the guys that those are the folks that usually get one, try to take a harder job the next time, and so I didn't think about them that much. But mine, and he kind of points to his sword, says that kind of reminds me of where I came from. I got it when I was young. And so it kind of, I look at it as a reminder of, you're out for yourself, you're number one, you don't have to look back to people that dragged you down. So, and then he turns back to you, Kira, so he says, the upheaval, yeah. The guild definitely got fractured. There was especially brought upon Nightshade for questioning her ability to run a successful guild if somebody can just hurt other guild members and bail. And there was, we'll call it what it was, kind of a coup. And she got kicked out. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, hold on. I gotta write that down. So Nightshade's not with the guild.
Mm-mm. There was a strong enough backing by another high-ranking guild member to, kind of take her down. She's kicked out, and there were plans to, but she dipped out, and you know how good she is about not wanting to be found if she doesn't want to be found. So.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Her name is rightfully earned.
She's one of the best. She's one of the best when she started, and even this far along, she's still one of the best.
So, who's in charge now, then? If you don't mind me asking.
No, not at all. His name, he calls himself Nightwolf. And he took the name partially as a mockery to her.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Partially.
It almost sounds like she might be out to just get Kira on her own now.
Shit.
Well.
Does she have a face tattoo? Does Nightshade have a face tattoo?
I think so, right?
Yeah, she has a crescent moon on the side of her face.
Yep.
Right, and I don't remember. Oh God, I'm sorry. Bad DM. I don't remember if it's on the side of her face or if it's like on the eye.
Through her eye.
Through her eye. Yeah, that was it.
So like, I think it goes like this.
Yeah.
Like around her face, like that.
Yep.
Ah.
Okay. And I am now in World Anvil, and I can now take this article and publish it.
Is that about the
Nightwolf?
So okay. So Nightwolf was in charge now. Nightshade got kicked out. Was Nightwolf of the faction that would Nightwolf be after me? Like, is Nightwolf of the faction that was questioning about how far things go in the guild, or was that Nightshade? I'm just trying to figure out if I approach Nightwolf, how I'm going to be received. Not to join the guild, rejoin, but to ask questions.
I mean, I got out shortly after the coup. Hard to say. I would say he probably spent most of his time trying to get things back in order. You know, getting on anybody that was still loyal to Nightshade that didn't dip with her.
Mm-hmm.
Where you fall in all that, I'd say you probably fall pretty low because, you know, whole previous management kind of thing.
Yeah. When Nightshade left, how many do you think top tier went with her?
Well, I mean, there was always a couple that went, you know, there was a couple loyal, like super loyal to her that were on the level with Nightwolf in terms of their ranking. That they would have gone, they probably would have taken some of their underlings with them. Hard to say how many, but they're keeping my ear to the ground as best as I can with this. She was the ones that got out that didn't get offed. She's been trying to reach out to them. There's also been, I've seen, because I've traveled, I've seen folks that look like they're trying to recruit for her.
She's trying to start a rival guild.
For what? That's...
Or take over the guild? Or...
He gestures to you, Jen. He's like, that would be where my brain would go. Trying to take back what's rightfully hers kind of thing. But
what
who
sort
knows?
of language was, what this recruiting, what types of recruiting was going on? Like, what sorts of offers were they're out there? What sorts of jobs were they looking for? Posting, whatever.
Yeah. Standard stuff. I mean, pretty standard to what entry level into the guild was. I do gotta admit, though, the last time, because I stop by, you know, to Oceana from time to time, you know, even though I'm out of the guild, you know, I kind of still pop in and kind of see what's going on. I did see, this was probably about 5 or 6 months ago. They sounded like they were recruiting for kind of like one big job. Kind of like a massive payout, you know, reward kind of.
Sympathetic to the Lionhearts?
If you remember, part of the reason we're going to more is because the attackers that had that assassination attempt on the governor, face tattoos.
But we were wondering if the Thieves Guild was in on it, but then does this mean that maybe instead it's...
I think it's her. I think it's her and her Shadow Guild or whatever.
And he looks at you, Kira, and he's like, "Do you know that wasn't anyone from the guild that went after that?"
Well, that's why I want to find out. So it's
because I
don't know how much you heard about what went on. We were in Furon, and Parade got. It was a crazy. Constructs came to life. It was crazy. But while that was happening, because of all the anniversary founding stuff, that happened in a couple different cities. That happened in a couple, and then a couple others had assassination attempts on the governors, and Moore was one of those. So, and that was my first thought, that it was guild members, but I didn't know that Nightshade had been kicked out. We have a bit of inside info that she might be a part of this larger group, and I was worried that it was the guild as a whole, which would be
That'd be a
a
problem.
lot. It'd be a major problem.
Yeah.
Major problem. But if she's not part of the guild, and and those weren't guild members, that's kind of what I want to find out, and why I was asking about Nightwolf. If we, or one of us, me preferably, could approach him find out. I mean, I know that finding out information about jobs is not easy, but if the guild if there was someone working against the guild doing guild stuff, I feel like he would want to know.
Yeah.
Well, and Ryu said he left on good terms. He just left, whereas you left on bad terms, and you're not sure whether the other side is okay with you or not.
What happened?
Would he be able to get information for us, or?
That would depend on Ryu, but I can tell you all what happened and why it's all questionable, because I can't remember if I have or not.
So that's why I was making faces when you're like, when he keeps saying that.
Yeah,
like, two of the guild members almost ended up dead or whatever.
So what happened? You all know that what I did when I worked for guild was mostly cat burglary, roof work, stealing from rich people, basically. Is what I got into it for. And one night I was sent out with a couple of big thugs, not my normal crew, to go collect what turned out to be protection money, which I didn't even realize was a thing the guild did. And the people that we collected from, it was this shopkeep I'd bought from him before, and the other guild members were going to rough him up for money he didn't have, and it was not what I got into the guild for. I got into guild to put rich people in their place and make a little money on the side, you know. I did not. That's not. It reminded me of my. It reminded me of my past more than I wanted, and I lashed out to protect the old man. And quite frankly, I left. I didn't even know if they were alive when I did, because I knew the repercussions for not only failing to complete a job, but attacking other guild members. And I knew it was safer to leave at that time. I didn't realize it would cause such a cascade.
That's why you've always wanted to keep such a low profile.
Yeah, because I didn't know. I didn't know if they were chasing me. I had no idea. It had been 2 years. I hadn't really seen any signs, but I'd also been not advertising my location as much as I could.
Sorry.
It's you know, it is what it is. And obviously with everything that's going on, it's kind of a moot point now. But it sounds like that's not, like, they're not going to be after me, which is good. That'll be easier. But if Nightshade's holding a grudge, and without knowing what kind of resources she has,
yeah,
it makes me nervous.
Yeah. I still think it's a risky thing for you to approach the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out. Ryu, would you be willing to keep your ear to the ground for us and try to find out what you can about the events of the last few days, but specifically the assassination attempt in Moore? They killed an aide, but they didn't get the governor.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I make it a habit of keeping my ear to the ground anyway. So, we can go through. I don't know if you'd want to try to go through standard guild channels, or, I just, try to hunt you down wherever you are. I'm
Honestly,
pretty good at being able to hunt people down.
I think I'd be more comfortable with you hunting us down, to be perfectly honest.
All right.
The other option would be to leave word at any of the garrisons, but
he looks at you,
it's
and
probably
says,
better for you to hunt me down.
he look at you and says, "The garrisons."
Badge.
Yeah, we're kind of, and she is gonna show the badge. It was an accident, oddly enough.
We were kind of tricked into it.
We got arrested, and now we work for them. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's believe it or not, the money's been really good. But I think that we would both be more comfortable with you just hunting us down if you get a good piece of info.
Wait, since we're police now, don't we get donuts? Where are the donuts?
Flynn, haven't you eaten enough waffles?
Here, have another one.
Thank you.
Just put it in his mouth.
And he kind of looks. He looks at you and says, "Wow, if I could, hold on. It's like if I could tell the stories about Kira Tenpenny working for the Starhel garrison."
I know. It's weird.
I can't tell anybody that would care, but if I could, that'd be quite a story.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I said, we got arrested. That's how it started.
At that point, Morag's just gonna take a drink and go, "I told you she's changed."
Changed as in getting arrested when she normally wouldn't. Don't know if I'd call that a good change.
I didn't say for the better.
Technically, that wasn't her fault.
It wasn't my fault.
And he gives you
got away. We almost got away.
And he gives you a smirk, Morag, and says, "You're all right."
It was a plant. It was a setup. But listen, I guess we've been pretty darn helpful for them since then.
Hey, number one rule about fight clubs, we don't talk about fight clubs.
And listen, I'll talk about the fight clubs. It's my business.
See, no, that's the issue, though. We all talk about the fight clubs. He doesn't want to talk about the fight club because he got farted on, and that's his only memorable.
We don't talk about fight club.
We don't talk about fight club.
It's actually ended up working out because we probably never would have had the authority to get some of the information that we've gotten. Like, we don't have to disguise ourselves, and we've been able to be clear that, we're not going to stand up for, immoral, unjustified killings or unjustified actions. And we've very quickly been sort of finding out that there's a lot deeper connections to these things than what anyone would have thought. So
yeah, well anytime you get religious fanatics involved with anything, you mix religious fanatics with former guild assassins, sprinkle in a bard here or there, never know what can happen.
How do you feel about the Reinhardts and the revolution and things like that?
Well, far as I'm concerned, they kept folks down that shouldn't have been kept down just because they were different. I would say that if not for the revolution and a few other circumstances, I would have been stuck in the life I had been living for a long time. The revolution and other things gave me a chance to make something of myself, take care of myself, put myself as the most important person in my life. Are the things I did to get there the most, as you said, moral things? You know, some would argue yes, some would argue no. I frankly don't give a shit. But, you know, the revolution gave me the chance to hit the reset on my life. So
I think it did for a lot of us.
So, did you just witness persecution during the revolution, or were you before, or were you directly affected by it?
And he kind of, where am I?
If you don't mind me asking.
No, that's all right. For some reason, you folks seem very easy to talk to. And he kind of gestures to himself. Mr. Maple syrup shut guy.
Have you tried
It's
it?
just so darn sweet.
It's just.
Trust me.
He's disarming in a way that's
adorable.
Adorable.
That's the word I was going to use. But I can't think of a good one, so sure.
As soon as you say adorable,
She
just called me adorable.
Not
you are adorable, Flynn.
Yeah. And he gestures to himself and he says, "Well, you know, as an elf, I was lucky that I did not see a lot of forms of misjustice that a lot of other people did. But you know, you hear somebody say, you know, why should that person get less just because they look different?" Kind of makes you think.
Yeah.
About everything. So, you know, I made it all right. I made it all right by myself, but I wanted more, and the revolution gave me an opportunity to get more.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, yeah. And he turns back to you, Kira, and goes, I'll keep my ear on the ground. I'll go out, you know, see what I can find out, let you know. All I know is, you know, based on the fact that you guys are putting together something that's big, it would not surprise me if Nightshade was directly involved with a lot of it, beyond even the stuff you mentioned.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
She's that kind of person.
Yeah. I was
What
gonna
about
say
being
something.
your boss?
You have no idea. And because I know that nothing comes for free, we'll compensate you for any information at a fair market price.
Can't say no to that. You know.
And we have connections to information as well now.
That's true.
The garrisons and stuff.
It's cursed, and he turns to you, Kira, and is like, "Curse of the Thieves Guild. You may be set for life, but if somebody comes offering a job, it's hard to say no."
Exactly. It's true. But it's a benefit of at least having some garrison backing. Is, like I said, pays well.
Well, I'll be curious to see what kind of information is available.
Well, we're still gathering it at the moment, but this is all part of that.
Fair.
Ryu, do you know if the Thieves Guild had heard anything about the Dragon's Claw? Or any affiliates of those?
No. Nothing from the guild. I mean, when I mentioned being back in Oceana, and I saw one of Nightshade's cronies talking about a big job that was coming up. I mean,
Do you recall what the big job was?
they were, and he kind of gestured to Kira. You kind of know. Sometimes they keep
Don't know
vague,
until they-
vague details about some of the bigger jobs because they don't want people. They want to get as much interest as possible before they lay out the true details.
You gotta sign up to get the scoop.
Yeah.
It's like a timeshare thing.
But what I'll say, to mention about the Dragon's Claw or anything like that, it's like, in my travels, don't know, I never heard of anything about any Dragon's Claw, but he gestures to outside, said groups like Cletus and his gang, they're all over the place. Whether they're a group of guys at a table complaining about
followers specifically, or just religious fanatics that still support the Lionhearts?
Well, it's more like whether it's a group of folks complaining about how there's a Dragonborn running their local shop now.
Oh, fucking racists.
Or a group of protesters saying that, not every folk should have magic. More X-Face.
What's wrong with a dragonborn running a shop?
Maybe or just racist.
Flip table. Who told you about Ace?
We don't talk about Ace. Oh wait, great, we'll throw DMCA'd.
So you're saying these are just bigots in general, or Lionheart sympathizers? I guess is what I'm trying to gather.
Gotcha. Well, I know there's a place where a lot of the loyalists kind of hang out. But, since the revolution, there's always that group of table sitting in the back corner of the tavern that complains about how things were better back in the day.
Okay.
Is he talking about Lionheart, Lion's Respite, the place where the loyalists hang out?
I don't know. Do you want to ask him?
I'm gonna ask. Do you mean the Lion's Respite or the Lion Hut? I think is what it's called now.
Oh yeah, Lionheart. Yeah, that was a big, when all the trials from after the revolution were done, anybody that wasn't immediately, they seemed to kind of flock there.
Yeah.
That's pretty common knowledge now.
So that's like
it's always under the guise. It's always under the guise of like, this is reminding us, but we're not hurting anybody, kind of thing. But this is reminding us of the life we used to have, and they say they never hurt anybody, but
this is sort of confirming then that island, because I'm sorry, like this is half out of character or half aside to the party. We had already discussed asking, like we tried to ask the harbor master, we tried to ask Icewind, is this Lion's Heart a place where all the other sympathizers of the Lionhearts have ended up? And people were like, I'm not kind of sure. Is this sort of a confirmation of that idea?
We got some of that information. That's pretty similar to what Icewind told us.
Yeah, I just feel like this is more concrete. I feel like Icewind was wishy-washy about it.
I think that with Icewind, it was kind of a rumor, is what I have. Rumored that many or most moved there. After the revolution, some of the staff and soldiers were given the option to community service and let go, and it was rumored that many or most of them ended up there and settled there.
Right, so he had heard that they might have ended up there, but nobody in there.
It wasn't because they couldn't they weren't keeping track of what happened to people afterwards.
All right.
This is Ryu pretty much confirming.
This is now rumor.
Most of them ended up doing
what
that.
Happened. Yeah,
and
because
then,
so it's like confirmation.
Yeah, because speaking to Kira's background too, being a member at the Thieves Guild and stuff like that, you kind of got to keep your ear on the ground of what's happening because official channels aren't always going to tell you everything that happens.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, we found out that like shipping doesn't go there, for example.
Right.
But
Well, yeah. So this is more the confirmation that is still an active place, not necessarily like active, like we're trying to take over, but this is definitely the scent trail of yes, there's definitely activity still there. So for me, that's like a flag of we need to keep this on our radar.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, you're definitely.
Well, it was on the list. Everything on the list.
Yeah,
is
on the
my
list,
radar.
yes, but like this sort of means like, oh, like I don't know. My instant sort of sniff was base of operations.
And what you're getting is that like he is confirming what Icewind had kind of like tried to but was not able to confirm because they, like he said, they didn't keep track of people once they were released from community service and all that. This is Ryu basically saying, yeah, that happened to all those people and most of them ended up going here for this. Sir.
Confirmation.
Firm
It
confirmation.
is definitely something to keep close on the list. Then
All right.
let's burn it. At least concrete information for something on.
All right, back to it. All right, back to it. Soraya says, yeah. Now those folks over there, they say that they're just living their life, but that's mostly just talking to those people that come into harbor every once in a while and get goods and supplies and do trades and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We just ran into some sympathizers not long ago.
That this dragon's claw you're mentioning?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Big time.
More than sympathizers, they were zealots.
Hmm?
I mean, they were vandalizing and they were taking trade wagons and it was awful.
Yeah.
They were bandits at heart, but they were bandits with a very particular point of view.
Well, sounds like groups like that are getting more serious now.
Yeah.
Especially with Lady Greyminer saying that what Cletus and his goons did tonight was something that they'd never even tried to do before, so.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
Just glad she's
glad
all right.
we were here.
Yeah, just glad she's all right too. She seems like a tough broad, but.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I don't know that I have any other questions.
Yeah.
That I can think of.
Yeah, and because he'd been sipping along like you had, Morag, and he kind of takes his last big sip, holds the glass in his hand and kind of says, I just hope. I don't know. I don't want shit to go back to the way it was. Because there's
anyone does. Sorry.
I hope not. I believe that, but
no, the sorry was cutting you off.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's all good, but yeah, because I may not necessarily have suffered greatly because of it, but a lot of folks out there, a lot of compatriots in the guild, wouldn't have been able to make something like getting into the guild without what happened. So.
We're doing what we can to prevent that.
Well, it's very noble of you, Mr. Maple Syrup.
I'm telling you, try it.
I would rather not.
With a waffle.
I would rather have an owlbear dig out my eyeballs.
Wow, that's extreme.
I'm just gonna take my syrup.
Not a fan of maple syrup.
Oh, well, fair enough.
Now, cinnamon and honey?
Oh. Yeah, or nutmeg.
Don't get him started about spices, let me tell you.
Man that knows his spice, I admire that.
You have no idea.
I tried to spice things up.
Boo.
You liked it.
You can subtract 1 hero point for that. I'm kidding. You're good.
He's shot by a bolt of lightning by the gods.
Oh my god.
Oh wait, no, it was me.
Oh, it was you. I thought it was. She is.
I am the god.
Yep.
Oh,
so he says, well, it's been eventful, but I think I need to head for bed.
Thanks
So-
for your
That
help.
sounds like a good idea. My
Yeah.
ribs hurt.
Yeah, I have to agree with that one. Wipe
Morag's
away
like,
more
yeah,
blood.
He turns to you, Morag's like, you seriously should get, like, patch that up.
No, I'll sleep it off. It's fine.
All right.
And those big, expensive beds
They're comfy as hell, though.
that can only fit one friggin' person. Oh, two. Sorry.
Yeah. It's kind of a stupid rule, but, you know.
Really?
I don't know
Yes, I
who-
like the larger room with less people.
I don't know who made it. They probably didn't really know what they were doing when they made that rule, but, you know. It's a big ass comfy bed, so.
We're gonna enjoy it, especially for two small people in that bed. I'm just gonna set up a pillow wall in between it. Be like, Flynn, stay on your side.
All right. Well,
I
and
mean,
and
the
he
table
stands
talk earlier sounded good.
and he stands up at this point and goes, "Well, best of luck with whatever you guys are doing, whatever you folks are doing. You know, sounds like you're on the track to uncover something big." So,
Hopefully.
and he looks to you, Kira, and he says, "I just hope old habits don't come back to haunt you."
I
would hope that with context you would understand a little bit better.
appreciate the sentiment. I appreciate the sentiment.
You have
I'll leave it
snarky
at that.
friends, Kira.
I what?
You have snarky friends.
I.
Oh,
yeah,
and
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and after he says that, he goes, "She's not one to be fucked with. So, I hope not only do you think about yourself, you think about them."
I definitely appreciate that, but I don't think I could stop them if I tried. But
Well,
and they're pretty tough. They may not look it. Well, Flynn certainly doesn't look it, but they're pretty tough.
did
no,
Morag
I
show?
think I syrup in my eye.
Oh my gosh, you're such a mess.
Did
It's so
Morag?
good though.
Morag, did you show them what you found on Shield Guy?
No.
Okay.
What
I was
gonna
going
say?
to in the morning when we talked to Lady Greymire.
Okay. All right. So then he does this and says, "I just hope that none of your friends are carrying around pictures from their kids in their pocket. You should ask your friend about that."
Well, I don't think they have any kids, but I suppose I don't actually know.
Just saying.
Fair. Okay, I'll ask. I'll ask for sure. But we'll, we. I would say we'll be careful, but I know we won't. So that's kind of silly.
And that's when Flynn goes, I got syrup in my eye.
There we go.
But we appreciate, I really do. I know that for whatever reason my reputation was not good, but, well, I know the reason. I appreciate you talking to us, and I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate whatever information you might be able to come up with. But I mostly appreciate you at least being willing to look. And I'm serious about the compensation.
Well, us ex-guild members gotta help each other out once in a while, right?
Sounds good to me. If you find any other ex-members that are willing to share information, send them our way.
Will do. And he turns to the rest of you and says, you have a good night. Sleep safe. And good luck on your travels.
You too, especially with that crocodile in the den. I don't know what that was about, but be careful.
Just, you got a little syrup, right? You might want to...
Yeah, I get a lot of it. And
All right. And then you see him walk over, put the glass back on the bar, and head upstairs.
After, or like as he's out the door, I'm like, all I said was if he tried to make a move to hurt you, it would be the last mistake he ever made.
Oh, yeah, I figured that's what he told me. You know what he does for a living. And I say does, not did, because I'm pretty sure that he would take a job if the right one came along. But you're tough too. But the threats didn't know.
He'd also be dealing with 511, so.
And I'm sure those are odds he's had before, to be perfectly honest. He earned that face tattoo, and he said he earned it young, which means he'd been doing it for a long time. Morag, did you find anything interesting in Shield Guy's pockets?
I did actually, and I was going to ask Lady Greyminer about it, because, well, I wanted to know his name because I found a drawing by, I suppose, his child, but I wanted to possibly return it to the family. I know we're not exactly on the best terms, but they deserve to know.
Yeah.
Or we could
Are people
potentially
gonna
rescue this
return
kid
the
from this
bodies?
cult.
Should you just leave the?
Hold up. What was that, Clancy?
Clancy's just like, or we could just potentially rescue this kid from this cult before it's too late.
We'd have to rescue all the kids.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know if it's a cult, if it's just these. It's a problem. That's what we've got to figure out. And is if it's the whole group or if it's just a,
And there
side.
could still be a division
Yeah.
of the group.
Yeah, that's what I think. But well, more I think that after you talk to Lady Greyminer, or whoever's handling it, if they're going to make sure, or if they're going to arrange for the bodies to be returned to the families, then maybe the note should just go back on the body, because they'll be doing their own funeral rites, so they'll be,
It's a good plan. I'll give it to them in the morning.
Poor kid. I wish, Clancy, honestly, I agree. I wish we could go save all those kids from that cult. I'm not sure we have the wagons for that, and Flynn's doesn't exactly have the best track record with working with kids, so.
Oh, Jen, that's
Keep
mean.
away from schools at all times.
Even before Furon, so.
I'm just gonna drink my tea.
You too.
I'm just gonna drink your syrup.
But that's.
You see him just doing shot after shot after shot after shot of syrup.
Flynn, you've had enough! Flynn, you've had enough! No! It's never enough!
I'm drinking my sorrows.
Especially after talking with Ryu, it's like, this is a very different life than life in the guild.
Aunt Jemima's the only one who understands.
So different.
Aunt Jemima, geez, you get the fancy stuff. I get great value.
Don't lie, you get Mrs. Butterworth.
I do.
I, for
nice.
one, would not mind going back up to the room to clean up.
Yeah, you need it.
I need to too.
No offense.
This is gross.
You got a little something. It's just right here. You got just a little bit of something.
I can't even
you got
open
some
this
red
eye.
on you. you got some red on you.
Yeah.
Looks
my
that red
ribs have
trench
been
coat.
for a few hours.
For those of you who don't recognize that, go watch. Oh, what's the name of that movie?
It's yes, Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Thank you. Go watch Shaun of the Dead.
You've got red on you.
Red on
Got red on you.
Long
Hey.
rest.
Yep, so at this point you're retiring for the evening.
Yeah. Kira's very introspective the entire rest of the evening, thinking
Yep.
about how different her life is and also how she's been hiding for 2 years and maybe didn't even have to.
Which leads her thoughts down other paths.
Yeah. What she
yeah.
could have been doing with that 2 years
Yeah. All right.
that she
well,
actively chose not to.
After hearing all of this, like, interconnected web. Jen's also starting to wonder like how far out these underground sects are reaching, and is really starting to think about trying to find a way to contact her home.
Yep. These separate sectors of everybody's lives seem to start interweaving, and you're starting to see a larger picture painted before you. And as everybody lays their heads down for the night, Jen making her pillow wall. We will end tonight's session. Hey. And Flynn, you'd have to bring that up with Jen whether you have to or not, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna want to. Good job, everybody. I'm so proud of you.
That's good.
Yeah. So, once again, thanks to everybody that hung out. Appreciate it. I believe we got a raid at some point, which was awesome. We appreciate that. So we will, as always, be back for the replay tomorrow. We will not be back, but the stream will be back tomorrow for the replay at 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern. Otherwise, we will be back next Tuesday, which is July 11th, to see what the party will do once they get to the City of Moor, which appears to be what their next destination is, though I'm not putting that in your guys' mouths or anything.
Yeah, it is. And how many? We're what? 2 days away from more?
Like a day and a half.
One.
It's like a day and a half.
Yeah.
And if you like booked it with the horses, you could get there in a day. So.
Okay.
Yep. So. Let's see if there's anybody. Is there anybody out there right now?
At dawn we ride.
Is there anybody out there? No, there's not. All right. So, unfortunately, it is time for us to head back to the real world. Boo, I want to keep hanging out with you guys. But thanks to everybody that hung out with us on this, I'd say special, but it's not really special, 4th of July, Independence Day. However, what was your exact line from the TikTok? 4th of July, Independence Day, however you call it. Whatever
however
you
do it, or
however you
like
do
that,
it.
I don't know.
Exactly. So
You do you.
You do you. So go check out the Discord, go check out the TikTok, go check out the YouTube. Tell all your friends about how much fun you had and how much fun you think other people would have hanging out. But unfortunately, it's time for us to go back to the real world. So for people watching the replay on Wednesday, hi. And otherwise, we will see you all next week. Bye.